and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Station podcast once again. And we are at least now not missing a host as usual. So, Dodger, welcome back after your long period of sickness.
Hello. I'm not vomiting or dying anymore.
That's good.
So it's doing great. But I am going to be popping cough drops this entire time because I have that
what kind of drops do you
What? Oh, they're called Fisherman's Friend.
I've never seen those before. Why don't you tell me about the fact that they're going to taste terrible and you will be surprised by it, but then you reveal unexpectedly that you actually like them.
That I'm actually...
TB he's a psychic.
I know. It's like he knows.
You have to go.
That's not being psychic, that's dubstep. It's not the same thing, damn it.
Being a psychic is dubstep, or vice versa.
TB 2012.
Indeed.
But yeah, I'm really excited to be back. I missed you guys. So 2 weeks away. It's far too long.
Indeed. From this amazing content. It's incredible discussion that we always have here. Jesse, welcome back to the show.
Hi, we might have had one of our best shows last week, and I guarantee no one gave two shits because you weren't on it.
Oh.
It might have been a very good show.
Well, it doesn't help that the VOD was like 5 days late on the Game Station channel, so that might have had something to do with the fact that nobody cares anymore. But hey, never mind. I'm assured that this will not happen again. Words were had, things were said.
I am taking bets. We need to set up a bet system in Vegas. Yes.
In Vegas? We can't
in
just
Vegas.
do it
Specifically
we need an
Vegas.
official bookie.
If it can't happen from the comfort of our own homes, it's not going to happen.
No.
Oh, but it's Vegas. That's like the comfort of your own home. But
Guys, can we have a Vegas trip?
When?
Vegas
That would be awesome,
trip.
dude.
We can do
You
that.
guys are closer than I am.
I'm across the other side of the bloody country. It'll take me a while to get there, but I'd totally be up for it. And welcome our special guest, PurpleRodri, to the show.
Hello, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
That
We're
was the most
excited to have you.
concise, wonderful
From the East
intro.
Coast.
Great.
Good.
Go East Coast.
Oh, we actually have another fellow East Coaster now. That's always good.
Yes, now we're 2-on-2 over here.
Mm-hmm. Seems reasonable.
Are you both in the same time zone? Is it?
Well, it is East
think we are.
Coast, so
Right,
yes.
East
Eastern.
Coast equal.
Oh, yes.
Eastern.
Well, I'm just curious. I don't know where the zones change.
You gotta be touching the coast. So
Huh?
that
If you're on the East Coast, you're on.
Oh,
You're
yes.
Fine.
touching the coast.
Fine, guys. Jeez.
Are you on the same coast? Yeah.
Are you? Have you even seen the ocean? Why the hell do they let you have Fisherman's Friend? I feel like
seen-
you're breaking rules right now.
The only ocean that matters, the Pacific.
Oh, great. I'm now being told that PurpleRodri's very quiet. Is Skype just screwing with the levels today or something? Is that how it is?
Everyone sounds really good.
I think we're
sounds
good.
fine
I
for
hear you guys
me.
perfectly fine.
Rodri's audio sounds great on my end.
Yeah.
Like,
People are just they want it perfect, and clearly they've never seen this podcast before because we don't do
We want
perfect.
perfection here.
If you want perfection, you don't use Skype or any kind of internet broadcasting software, because
We'd
you'll
all be
never
in the
get
same
it.
studio. We would have flown Rodri out to be in the same studio with us.
Yeah.
one day,
See, what
guys.
they don't realize is we're actually sitting next to each other in one of those little separated by wall
We just
things.
have like
Yeah.
different sets.
Yeah,
that we
exactly.
look through.
Like, if I were to zoom my thing out slightly, you would suddenly see
the
Dodger
worst
on the other
idea
side.
ever.
Like, what?
Right.
Yeah, behind that flag is a whole studio, and we're just all in it. That's why that flag's up.
Yes.
I like it.
Makes sense.
Well, welcome to the Game Station Podcast. We sometimes talk about video games. On this show, we'll be talking about what we've been playing this week. We'll also be discussing the latest news as well as release dates, looking through a few trailers, and highlighting some videos from the Game Station network. If we have time, we'll also discuss topics that we wish to talk about, rather than the topics that you wish to talk about, and then we'll wrap up the show by shamelessly promoting our own stuff. And that will be the format, and that is what we are sticking to.
That's my favorite part.
It's a really good
I like
format.
it.
I like that format. It works.
Wait. Oh,
I'll take
butts.
it.
Are we doing show and tell again? Because I've got something
Is that
that
what
I
this
can
is?
show and tell.
What? Go do it. Show and tell.
Want to show and
Do it.
tell? Does
Go
anyone
for
else
it.
have anything
Just
cool this week to show on cam? Because if you
This is all
don't,
you need to know, world.
I
Oh.
mean, I could
Greatest
find
things in
something
the
in my
world.
room.
To hell
honestly.
with
I
you.
could look around.
all right,
Oh, God,
you
I
go
know.
find something cool to show then. He has Tim Tams, which I don't know if I can top that, honestly.
You can't. They're
Have you
amazing.
drank milk?
Though I
out of
can
the
try.
tub yet?
The Tim Tam Slam. Everyone
Yeah.
keeps telling me to do it. I'll be honest with you. I don't have the patience to wait to go get milk. I'd just rather.
What are they? I've never had those. I don't think we have them here.
Nobody does.
No
They're
one does.
Australian.
Australians
Yep.
win,
They're
and
Australian.
the guy from New Zealand sent me like 12,000 cases of them.
Yep.
They're
What do
like
they taste
little things of chocolate, and then it's like, oh no, that's in the inside. Chocolate and chocolate on chocolate.
Well, the funny thing is that we actually
my
have these in the
gosh.
UK.
You're
They're
gonna
just
have
called
to roll me out this
Chocolate
They're not even that
Actually-
good. I mean, like in the UK we
What
have
are they called in the UK?
penguins. Like they're exactly the same thing. Those kind of chocolate sandwich biscuits. They're penguins.
Oh,
Or there is Walmart's
I thought
ripoff
penguins
called
were like
puffins.
little-
I kid you not.
the little cupcake things. You know
Yeah.
the little cupcake things with the white swirls? I thought those were called penguins.
No.
I don't know.
No, indeed not.
Really? You
The-
haven't heard that before? Okay, maybe that's just me.
No, the funny thing about Asda, as it's called in the UK, which is owned by Walmart, is they're very blatant about their interpretations. Very blatant. Oh, you've got those things. Those are great.
I do. I got so excited. I was like, I haven't had these since the TGS drunk cast.
We pretty much ate all of those, didn't we? Like, we took some big risks that day. We ate pretty much everything that was
We
sent
did
by
some
random
things.
fans, and we didn't die. That's pretty impressive.
I'd also like to point out that the sounds I made while eating that Tim Tam are also the sounds I plan on making next week during the podcast. Can't wait to see you, Felicia. Come on by.
God damn it.
I was like, what does that mean? And then I got it.
And there's like, oh yes, Felicia Day is on the show next week, ladies and gentlemen, that being October 3rd. As to whether or not she ever comes back, I find it unlikely, but we'll see how
Once
it
is
turns
enough. Once is enough. We can say we had her and we can move on. We can climb the celebrity.
Wow.
out.
I want Kevin Bacon.
You
I
are
found
quite
out I'm
forward
only
today,
three-
Jesse.
I'm only 3 things away from Kevin Bacon now. My life is complete.
You're doing the whole separation thing. Well, so you know that really awesome airsoft gun I showed you a couple of weeks ago? Well, it doesn't work. It's broken.
I'll say
So
yes.
I bought a different one,
No, butts.
which is this one right here.
You should shoot it off on camera.
Whoa, you bought one? You just decided to buy one?
Yeah, pretty much. I thought, why not?
Is it because you wanted to have a rifle fight with your wife? Is that what this is? That what this is?
No,
You
this
were like,
this thing
what if
would
we
this
shoot
thing
at
would
each other?
hurt a little bit if I were to do
I was
that.
gonna say, I
It's-
bet the
Have you ever been
speed on
shot
that
by
is
one of
a
those?
little...
Yes, I've been shot by one of these, and it fucking hurts. The speed of this is 410 feet per second, so
Oh my God.
yeah, it's quite painful. It's pretty cool. You can't it's full size, so you can't actually fit it on the camera, but it's pretty neat. It has like a collapsible stock, which is kind of awesome. I like that. And it also has a 4 times integrated scope, which is nice, and fires, I think, about 720 rounds a minute, and a 400 round
People love to
magazine.
see you shoot
Realistically,
off
what are you
around.
using this for? What is?
Mostly shooting the back fence.
It's just like having a BB gun,
Yeah.
but like
It's
really
totally
fast
satisfying.
airsoft guns.
Are you shooting pigeons and squirrels with it?
Nah. The
that's
pigeons
so
and squirrels
mean.
know to stay well away,
I know
so
people that did it.
it's a non-issue. But yeah, shoot targets on the back fence. I'm actually setting up like a target board at the back with some plasterboard and
God.
things like that. And I
Half-
may or may
half-filled
not.
bottles of whiskey, half-filled bottles of whiskey
Really?
in the back. And
Do
you
we have
just
to have
sit there-
banjo music in the background as well? Do I have to be on
I
a
was
rocking
gonna
chair
say,
while I do this?
We need a rocking chair. We need a banjo. This is gonna require way more props.
Look, if you're willing to buy one gun, you can afford half bottles of whiskey and various other props.
This one's a bit pricey.
I'm
but-
just saying, go all out. Don't
yeah,
half-ass.
it's fun.
Yeah,
I
go
might
big or
start
go
competing. Like they've got a number of airsoft fields around here to play, so that would be fun.
Yes.
But
Oh my God! Please do it.
I'll also probably
Film it
shoot
all.
targets with Jesse's face on it. Just saying. That may also get
Can I-
video.
can I
Like
take
fun.
photos?
Bless you.
Can I take photos of myself for those pictures? Like one will be like,
Yeah.
ooh, and one will be like, ooh. one
Yeah,
will
can
be
we
like,
go some
ooh.
zombie targets, stuff like that. I don't think we're allowed to put tannerite in the backyard. I think the homeowners association would complain about the explosions, but yeah, we can make that work. That'd be
How do
pretty
you
cool.
play competitively with the airsoft? Because I know, like, I've done the paintball
It
thing.
very
but-
much relies on gentlemen's rules, unfortunately, aside from the fact that airsoft tends to hit hard enough for people to notice if you got hit. So if you're the one screaming in pain, the chances are you got hit and you're off the field. But
I'm okay. I'm
yeah,
okay.
there have been known that that there are problems with people that cheat at airsoft because you've got to call your hits basically, and it's an honor system. If you don't do that, then you're a douchebag. But the people that do that tend to be horribly punished because everyone gangs up on them and repeatedly shoots them until they're completely covered in bruises. So it seems to work. But yeah, there's a lot of good fields in Scotland, for instance. There's a big airsoft scene there. There's one here. The biggest one is actually in California. California has a massive airsoft scene. It's absolutely huge.
Of course we
Yeah.
do. Of course.
Another
we
thing
do.
the West Coast
How did I
has
not
with
know
this.
that?
Yeah,
I
it's
need
fun.
to dust off my pistol, guys.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
out
you gotta
there.
do that.
It's a bright orange pistol, though. I
Yeah.
cannot hide anywhere.
Yeah, you don't just have the little tip on it that makes you not get shot by the cops. This
The
thing's
entire
entirely
thing
orange.
is that color, though. It's like
Yeah.
neon. It's terrible, but I love it.
Show and tell time. Show and tell.
I know. I was looking.
She doesn't know where
for
it
I
is, so
can't-
I'm pretty sure like 2 weeks ago we did this and she couldn't find it. So
Yeah. Wait. Hold.
I just don't. I don't think she
Continue.
has it.
Continue. I'm gonna
I
look
think she's
again.
gonna find it this time around.
Okay. By the way,
indeed.
way,
Wait,
world. That
you believe
poster in
me?
the background of her room that says Dodger. That has little pictures of her YouTube videos in it that make up that image.
That's
It's
Wait, which one?
mind
The one
blowing.
with the
who
blue
made
hair?
that?
Yes,
That's
I don't
insane.
know, but why don't I
Are you
have that?
serious?
Maybe
Yes,
you're just
it's
not special
amazing.
enough.
Let's get a close-up shot on
I'm
that.
clearly not
My
that
viewers
special.
are the
It's
best
amazing.
viewers. Is really what it all comes down to.
Oh, and also there's one that has like it's her as different characters. You can see it with the rainbow. Ah, it's so amazing.
Yeah, the one that says
So
dexterity
amazing.
bonus on it.
Shut
that
up!
one,
I hate
wow.
you. You have awesome fans. My fans
Now-
just
We
want me
have
to become.
awesome fans too.
My fans just want me to become that person you see on TV that gets lifted up by a forklift. That's what's happening here. I'm gonna be that person. Meanwhile, I'll be like, "Oh, probably I had a poster. My life wouldn't be so bad." Tears of chocolate.
Uh-huh. But
Sending
I
him the
can't
chocolate.
find it.
Ah.
But
Never
But I
mind.
can't
What
find
we'll have to do at some point is we'll all have to go to an airsoft field or an airsoft indoor in Cali and shoot a video of us killing each other with airsoft.
Yes.
That would be great.
Yes.
Next time we're out I'm out
Do
in
I
Cali,
buy an
let's do
airsoft
that.
Gun? I'm gonna buy the most effeminate
Sounds
gun,
like a lot of fun.
one of those little pistols, the little tiny ones that only fires one shot.
Oh,
That's
what's the
air,
what, a
and it only
Derringer? You
fires
can
one
get
shot
it.
of air.
Okay,
Great.
let's find Jesse a pistol. So we're looking for an airsoft Derringer.
The effeminate air.
The most
and it has to be
effeminate
like a light
pistol.
pink, a neon pink, preferably.
Okay, well we can paint this neon pink. I have it. I have one for you here, Jesse. I will post it for you in chat. This is
Wait a minute.
This is an airsoft gas-powered Derringer. We could
Wait.
very much paint this
Can
pink.
we have that one?
Which one's
What?
that?
What are you sending me?
Oh wow. Okay, I'll see if I can.
Oh my God! Yes.
That's nice. Wow.
Oh
Okay.
my God! Can someone like? I'm gonna
I'm gonna try and show this on the stream right here. I'm just gonna move it in front of your face.
I want this. This is it. This is the
Da,
one.
da, da, da.
This
The
is
one.
the one.
Yes.
Holy balls! That's amazing.
There we go. We have an answer. This is the weapon you're going to be getting. You're going to be getting a pump action Hello Kitty airsoft shotgun. Wow, is that ribbed for her pleasure? It looks like it is.
I like the stars
It's
at the end.
$538.
Whoa!
Hello Kitty shotgun.
Wow,
The
I thought
stars
mine
at
was
the end Are
expensive.
amazing. The stars remind me of like a cartoon, and you fire and little stars shoot out like. Blah, 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 blah. I want that badly.
That's incredible.
In the description, it says, "This little kitten doesn't go meow much, no matter how fabulous she looks."
She does look fabulous though.
That is very
Perfect.
true. Okay, let's get this off
How
the
is
screen.
that?
There we go. That's incredible. Yeah, that's from Red Wolf Airsoft. I think they're actually they're a Taiwanese company, I think. But yeah, we'll find you something suitably girly. I think.
Oh
we can
no!
pull that
I
off.
want that shotgun. That shotgun is.
You want to
happening.
put down $500 for that? Then by all means, you
I
go do
don't
that.
Really. I'm hoping we can find like
The knockoff version.
hello Kati,
Uh-huh.
and it's like a different color pink, lighter pink.
Indeed,
They customize it for you.
absolutely.
Get your initials engraved. Make it look
Yes. Oh
pretty.
my God.
Bad.
Yes.
Mm,
Incidentally, Roger, your camera has frozen. It may
Yeah, it's
unfreeze.
frozen for me too.
Yeah, but if it doesn't in the next couple of minutes, then I would suggest turning it off and on again. All right, so now we're past all of that. Let's talk about games that are found on computers. So, who wants to kick off? Has anyone played anything interesting this week?
Did you guys already talk about Borderlands?
No, well, no, we actually didn't because I was the only one that had bloody well played it.
Oh.
I don't know why, but we've played it now. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, because I was waiting for the
RPG makers.
Europeans.
yeah, I've played it now, and I played it with Jesse, Husky,
For like a good
and
4 hours.
Blondie. Yeah, so Blondie. Yeah, that was the reason. After that, I actually had one of the most unpopular videos I've ever released, where I basically talked for about 20 minutes about multiplayer and said that I didn't really find it all that entertaining, and apparently that is heresy. But what did you reckon?
You didn't like it? Oh God, I love it.
You've been
Really?
playing single player though, like in your
Yeah,
bed.
I only played
No,
single
I've been
player.
playing 2-player.
Oh, okay.
Because we figured Because me and my graphic designer, Allie, we wanted to play together, and we figured that it would be easier to consistently get 2 people together instead of 3
Yeah.
or 4. So we were like, all right, let's just play the game as only 2 people, and she's playing Siren and I'm playing Gunzerker. And it's been really fun. Although there's so much loot to comb through that we played for like 11 hours straight
Yeah.
and only hit
Addictive.
level 12. And we were like,
Yeah.
God, there's just so much time that we spend opening all of the crates, figuring out who gets what ammo, like...
Yeah.
Oh, you're
I-
better than us.
Yeah, I
friends.
think I'm still only level 14. I'm pretty sure I put 16 plus hours into that game. But
Yeah.
I think that 2 might be the magic number when it comes to that game. Because I was talking to Zook and the missus were playing 2-player, and their opinion of it was it seemed really nicely balanced for 2 people. You go any further than that, and what happens is, this is the experience we had, you have bullet spongy enemies. Like, enemies take so many shots to kill.
Oh,
And
God.
you get
Yeah.
so many deaths as a result of that, and it's just annoying and frustrating. Whereas with 2 people, it's about right. The problem with doing it single player is that there's some bosses that are really designed to have you be behind them at some point, which you can't do unless you happen to have 2 people.
Right,
So-
unless somebody is
Also-
attracting its attention.
Yeah.
Single player, to me, I had this experience with Borderlands 1. Single player feels very MMO style grindy. Like, it's like, go
The
to
quests
this
are a
point,
bit
kill these
generic,
guys, do
and
this.
it's like,
I can
get
see
6
that.
of these,
What's
get
the
10 of
change that
these.
2-player then? It doesn't follow that.
Well, it's
path?
friends. It's, I don't know, it's weird to explain, but their ads are dead on when they're like, bring friends. They're actually giving you advice. That isn't like a tagline. They're letting you know, you probably should bring some friends to this
That
because you're going to be really bored if you don't
That
have
doesn't
any.
make the questing
experience,
content
yeah.
any good, though, does it? Because you can do that with any boring MMO. As long as you've got friends with you, it'll be fine. I don't
Right.
view that as a feature.
Well, when you think about it, it's,
Games should be more fun when you play with friends.
Everything's
Like,
more
it
fun when you
shouldn't
play with
change that
friends.
much.
Everything.
That's a good point.
Maybe solitaire isn't, but I'd say that most games, even single player games, having friends around you as you play and just kind of riffing on the game and having a laugh is much more fun than playing on your own.
Right.
So I don't necessarily agree with saying, oh, it's much better in multiplayer. And in my experience, like, it kind of wasn't. I had fun during the stream, but it wasn't because of the game. It was because I was shooting the shit with Jesse, Husky, and Blondie.
Right.
And I
That-
could have been doing that in another game that I actually liked.
that stream's still up, by the way.
It is, actually, yes, yeah.
I haven't had the chance to play it.
Twitch.tv/Shabuzi.
Someone claims
Are
that
you planning on
masturbating
playing
with
it,
friends
Robbie?
is not more fun. I would say that they probably haven't tried it and are not open-minded enough.
Rodri, are you planning on playing it, or do you have any interest?
I probably will play it, but I've just been really busy with like university and stuff these past couple weeks that I've just kind of been taking it easy. I have been playing a lot of League of Legends though. I don't know,
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
really been getting into that
Mhm.
lately. I don't know, just something that's really picked up with my
Did no one
friends.
else just see what just happened here? Did no one else see the hilarious comedy? Two things happened. One, TB's one of the few times he ever comments on what happens in chat, it's about masturbation. And two, Dodger completely combs over it and moves on instantly. Doesn't even address it and just is like, so what do you think, Roger? How did we miss this? That was
Changes
comedy gold.
conversation.
It's always the
Great.
best, isn't it?
Gold.
That was great.
Trying, guys.
That was wonderful. I just want to point those 2 facts out. Continue. League of Legends.
Yeah,
Thank you,
That's
Steve.
the thing.
League of Legends. It's just, there's a lot to it. I mean, I've been trying out a lot of different champions. I don't know about you guys. Have you played it before?
Yeah.
Yes.
A little. Yeah.
Are you good at it?
No.
I've played 4 times and I won my last time. I left
I've-
while I was on top.
Yeah.
I'm never touching it again.
I've played 1,500
hard, man.
matches
It's really
and I
hard.
suck at it. So, yeah.
It's a ridiculous game.
Yeah,
I
it
still
really
have to
is.
get the hang of it.
The amount of stuff you have to learn in that game is just beyond silly. It really is. There are few games that are as challenging as that to get good at because of how much stuff you need to know. We're talking like item builds for every champion, all of the abilities of every champion, how they interact, what the matchups are, what the meta is. It's blinding. And then, of course, if you make a single mistake, then your entire team's on you incredibly rapidly and ripping you apart like a pack of rabid raccoons. That's
That's
pretty
why it's
horrendous.
hard playing with like 4 other people online. Like it's easier when
Yep.
you have like 4 friends, Skype.
Yes,
Yeah.
But, like,
that's
when
the
you're-
way
when
to
you're
play that
playing,
game.
Like online, it's so hard. It's really crazy.
It depends on if your friends like really know the game well or not. Because if they really know the game and you don't know it very well, they'll be like,
They'll
"Come over
shit on
here
you
and get
for
the
it.
red.
Yeah.
Get the red." get the
Oh,
red.
yes,
Like,
yes.
who are you
That was all the
talking to? Are
time.
you talking to me? I don't even know what the red is. What are we talking about right now? Like, it's just
What is that
so.
voice?
It can get really confusing that way,
Yes,
but
yes, I agree.
I'm liking I'm liking playing MOBA games more. Although I tried to play Dota and Dota 2, I opened it up and the user interface was just in the like join a game. Just the user interface right there made me go, what do I
am
do?
scared. Yeah.
I'm gonna just close this.
Yeah. I'm more scared of
It
Dota
is.
2 than I am of laddering in StarCraft. It is an
it's
intimidating game.
Everything's
Seriously
just so
intimidating.
serially. I'd much rather just
StarCraft's-
watch it.
Yes.
Well, Blizzard
Any
All Stars
other-
is out soon. That's a thing. That's going to be
Is
a
that
new Dota game.
a freebie dealie?
Yep.
With,
Yeah, you can play that
StarCraft?
free. Yeah, you don't even need StarCraft to play it. You're going to be able to play it for free, regardless,
Huh.
which is pretty
That'll be
legit.
interesting.
It's going to
Here's
have.
the thing, though. Does
Yes.
Blizzard have? Is that something they're actually going to push, or is that just for
Yes.
funsies?
Yeah, they want to push it. There's like we're ready to support this as an esport. Like, okay, I'm interested in that.
They're going to throw money at the LOL Chinese money. It's going to be a money war. Like
It's
just throw
already a
money at
money
each
war.
other.
Riot and Valve have already gone at it in the money wars, and Blizzard is now getting involved. It's a good time to be an esports athlete. There's a lot of money floating around.
Oh shit! I should have spent time.
Who's your
learning
money
how to play
on? Who's
games.
your Vegas bets on then?
I don't know. I think if Valve takes it seriously, then Riot doesn't have a prayer. But that involves Valve taking it seriously, whereas Riot is all in on this because that's their only game. If League fails, they are out of it. I mean, this is a company that's grown so quickly, has got a ton of investment from very rich Chinese firms, and this is their only game. And they have no intention of making another one, from what I've seen. There was the announcement ages ago. They were looking at LoL 2.0, where they completely redo all the graphics. They're still working on that. We've heard nothing of it. And they are reliant entirely on the income that LoL brings. So if LoL declines, then they're in a lot of trouble. They have a big office. I have been to their big office. There are hundreds of employees there. There is a lot of money involved in that company now. So we'll see. It depends if Valve
Are they making that much money off of just like
Yep.
people buying the Riot points? Really?
They have-
God,
yes.
they nickel and dime you,
Are you
man.
kidding?
Yeah.
Yes.
They have
That's
so
not a
much
lot. I
money,
spent a lot
they
of
don't know what
cash
to do
on,
with
like,
it.
Skins, like you start buying the characters and it's just like addictive.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. A new skin. I'll take it. $5.
Skins aren't too expensive. It's fine.
Then it adds
So it
up.
was
to,
like the
$30
$20 skin, Pulsefire Ezreal.
And
Yeah.
it's so brilliant that they like rotate what characters are free, because then if you get like really attached to one and you're like, oh, it's not free anymore, you want to keep doing well and you're
They're
like,
sneaky bastards.
I'll just buy it. I'll just
Oh,
buy it.
it's-
It's what
Yeah.
It's $5. Oh, okay.
it's good.
And the best part is they something that we saw at PAX, which was hilarious, is the free skins they give out.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yes.
not for stuff that you have. It's just like, here's some skins to characters that we like. You have to buy it if you want to use it.
You have to buy the character though.
And everyone
I'm
freaked
trying to
out.
think
They
which-
were like, oh my
Which one was it? It was
So
They had two.
Arcade Sona.
Yeah.
Well,
And there's
Sona's
another
a
one
fairly
there.
old character now, so I'd be
Mhm.
surprised if some people don't have
Yes.
it.
Well, I don't.
You don't have any
Okay.
characters aside from the ones.
I
Actually,
went out
what
on
did-
top. I'm the
Who did you
Michael
play with?
Jordan of
Who did
LoL.
you play with when you went out on top?
He played with
Susan
me.
Nasus. Yeah. Dodger was there. She witnessed it. I played with TB for like 15 minutes and sucked. Then I played with Krendor and
Apparently, you
sucked.
get the character with the skin, by the way, so your complaint is moot.
And then I
Gloss over that.
and then I played with Dodger and Krendor and sucked. And then I was like, F it. I'm gonna try this melee character. And I was like, no, don't do it. And I was like, Nasus, that seems like a guy.
Oh,
and I was
Christ.
Like, Susan,
Don't play
Susan,
Nasus.
rah. And I just went in and killed
Did
everyone.
really well. He
It
did
was awesome. I
That's
was like,
surprising. Nasus actually has a reasonably high skill ceiling to use properly.
I don't know what happened. It might have been luck. I was just like, I'm done. I got nothing else to prove. I'm done.
All random, all mid is the
Oh,
only
yeah,
way to play that game. Just all pile in the mid, play the proving grounds level, and just do that over and over again. It's best.
The skin codes come with champions?
Yes, they do.
Well, but we didn't get codes. No, we didn't do codes. We did at PAX. It was go to one of the 3 laptops they had set up and enter your name.
Oh, they do that? Oh, it's
Yeah,
because
we
people
didn't
were
get
used.
codes.
Oh, they probably it's because people used to be selling those codes. Like at last packs, people were getting the codes and selling them online. So
Oh,
they probably
yes,
wanted to get rid of
yes.
that.
You know what upset me though is that in order to make sure that the line kept going, it wouldn't tell you if you put in the wrong password.
Right, so I had no clue.
Yeah, so I like put in my name and my password, and then I realized later, oh my god, that's my password to Steam. That's not my password for LOL. But it didn't tell me, so I'm like, no, I would have to stand in that line all over again.
It's
This
okay.
skin.
Yeah, I had the exact same thing. I didn't know if I put in the right name because I have like the name of the account and the name of the actual character. I didn't know which. I was like, and so then there are people sending me text messages like, dude, put in my account name. So I might have been there for like 10 minutes, and the guy was just looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out. As I'm sitting there inputting
What?
everyone's accounts.
Putting like 8 different names
Different
in. You're like,
usernames.
oh.
I just
Don't
don't know what
worry
my
about
account is.
I just forgot, man. I just forgot.
Yeah, you know, I just yes.
I haven't played in a couple of months actually, which is unfortunate. I got my Riot account updated, and because I got the 10,000 referrals and got all the unlocks and everything. But what they do is they just unlock everything at the time and then give you a bunch of Riot points to buy everything else. Because they're like, we don't have a switch on our account that allows everything to be unlocked at once. But when they moved my account to the US, they deleted my EU one and updated it. So now I've got all the stuff I didn't have before, where like the stuff that was available at events that I couldn't buy. So that's pretty cool. But unfortunately, they've also got rid of some of my really cool stuff. Because they've phased those skins out. The Black Alistair skin, which was a beta skin, I think. Can't use it anymore. Very sad.
Ouch. Sucks.
Very sad. But hey, it happens. Never mind. I barely play that game anymore anyway. I don't. The League games drag on for so long that I can't be bothered. It's just
for so long. They're
Yeah.
like 45 minutes.
I've had like a 2-on-2 hour, 20-minute match. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
God, it's
Like, okay, I got
horrible.
morning. Ah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
really,
gets to the
really
point where I'm like,
horrible.
I'm hungry and I want to watch Hoarders. When is this going to be over?
That's the show to watch when you're hungry.
Right?
What?
They're like hoarding
Just
like
roll with
bags
it, guys.
of fat.
Guys,
Just eat while you're watching them fill a room with crap. You know, no big deal.
It sounds wonderful.
I prefer Storage Wars. Thank you very much.
Storage Wars.
See, that's
Dwarves is
interesting.
good.
I could watch them go all day. All day.
What
And the
about,
sad thing is that while this would be viewed as crappy reality TV by most, it's still leagues and bounds ahead of Here Comes Honey Boo Boo.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
that show's so great.
That show is.
Don't support that show.
Are you kidding me?
You're kidding
I feel like,
me.
I
That's
feel like
horrible.
only by supporting them can that mother's gonna kill that family. I feel like only by keeping them on film are we keeping them out. Are we keeping them safe?
Oh, God.
If anything, we're helping the kids because the minute that camera goes off, they are screwed. The whole family is
man.
screwed. We're helping them.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that show.
See, chat loves Storage Wars. Come on.
I'm still
Jared
watching
and
back
Brandy,
episodes
I've
of
watched them all
Deadliest
day.
Warrior, which is the stupidest
Yeah.
thing in the world. I feel it went off the rails in season
Fighting.
3.
What it is, right?
Huh?
Deadliest Warrior. Which one's the one where they take like a ninja against like a
That's
samurai?
Deadliest Warrior,
It's the
yeah?
episode called Ninja vs. Samurai. And
Has that really
no,
happened?
No, they never did that one. They only do matchups that would have never happened in history. So obviously Ninja v Samurai happened a lot. So it was Ninja v Spartan, actually.
Oh, that sounds awesome. What?
Who won?
Spartan won.
Really?
Yeah, Spartan won.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of shows where if you hear the results, it doesn't mean anything until you figure out like why they
Where
said
the
that.
rationale
You know,
is,
it's
yeah.
like weird technicalities.
Well-
Well, even though the ninja could appear from behind and stab the Spartan, his massive muscle would have protected him from the width of the blade, so he would have turned around and instantly
Yeah.
impaled the ninja.
I mean, they do the reenactment, and it's complete bullshit. It's obviously all contrived to show every single thing, not to mention that the best part of the show is where they're testing all the weapons and completely smashing the shit out of stuff with them. That's wonderful. There was a pretty dodgy episode, actually, which was Taliban versus IRA. And I was like,
wow.
this is got a bit
man.
far, right?
I'm gonna say IRA.
IRA won it, yeah. IRA did win.
Why'd they win?
Sorry.
They won because the Taliban was stupid and went inside a bus that was rigged with explosives, and they blew the Taliban up. There was only
say something?
one
Oh,
Irishman left at the end of it.
I think on the internet I just said, "Go IRA."
Well, that's the end of the Game
TGS
Session
pal.
podcast. It's never coming back now. Oh man. Okay, right. Let's get back on the games, shall we? So, I played a few things this week, but Dodger seems like she wants to talk about something. So, what have you been up to?
I was just gonna say to gloss over the IRA comments, we could talk about boobs, and I could say that I played Dead or Alive 5.
Ah, excellent. Is it any good?
Quite the boobs in that game.
Go on.
Yep. Thanks for listening. Keep going.
I really love it, by the way. I think that the fighting everybody still has the same fight techniques, except some of them have some new stances, and they have a couple of new characters that are totally ridiculous, but it's really fluid the way that all of the other Dead or Alive games are, and of course the different areas that you're in explode, like all of them explode, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I like the ability, even in Dead or Alive 2, you're able to knock them down to different stages of the level and things like that. I love that.
Love that stuff in fighting games, but it's hilarious because their boobs. When I was first going to be playing this game, my friend Jared, who had already played it, was like, "Just so you know, the boobs look like they're made of water." And I was
That's
like,
standard Dead or Alive.
What does that mean?
Well, because like in other games, like they just like bounce and wiggle uncontrollably, right?
Okay, yeah.
In this game, they'll be standing totally still, and their boob will be like rippling. It's like not even moving. It's like rippling.
Yeah, that was
Fantastic.
there's some really weird videos on YouTube of Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. The same thing happens.
It's ridiculous. It's
What's
totally.
the plot for the 5th one?
Huh?
Like, what
What's the
about? Like,
Oh, who cares?
I
killing
don't.
people?
I'll be honest. I haven't played story mode.
There's
Okay.
there's no point. There is just none. That I played. I've got Dead or Alive Dimensions for the 3DS, which is actually really good. And what that does is it takes you through all of the story from 1 all the way to 4, and I still don't know what it's all about. So
Yeah,
it's nonsense, complete nonsense.
ridiculous. But I've always loved the fight mechanics in those games, and
I like the counter system. I think it's very fluid.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the counters are great. And now you can do reversals and counters on throws, which I don't think has been in it before. So that was exciting for me. Somebody tried to throw me and I was able to counter it, and I was like, "Ah!" I got really excited. I'm trying to think if there's anything else about that game, really. I haven't tried playing it with a fight stick. I don't know if that translates very well. I only played it with a 360 controller.
I don't think that's the kind of game playing with a fight stick works in, because
I'm
fight
pretty sure
stick
that's
is.
the kind of game where playing with your fight stick works.
I hate you so much.
Oh yes, that was so good.
Well
TGS
done.
podcast. Oh wait, hold on.
There we go.
Yeah,
Oh, now
I
There
don't
we
think
go.
it's really designed that way. That game is best played at least casually with an analog pad, because it's like 8-way movement you've got to concern yourself with, which is not ideal for a fight stick. So
Yeah. But I love it, so if any of you
I'll
can
pick it
have
up. It's a good fighting game. Always good.
do it. It's great.
So I've been playing a game called Chivalry Medieval Warfare.
What is that?
It's a first-person slasher, by which you get medieval weapons and you kill the shit out of the other guys. It's based on a mod called Half-Life 2 Age of Chivalry. And they got together and they made a full game called Chivalry Medieval Warfare, which is coming out in a couple of weeks. And I was playing a class called the Vanguard. And you can pick from a spear, I think it's a greatsword, and a bardiche. Bardiche is a long-ass poleaxe. This thing's got a lot of reach, but it's also got a tip on the end, so it's a spear as well. And you can do some damage in that game. It's all in first person. Swinging's quite slow. There's quite a cool combat system. You've got 3 basic moves. You've got a kind of horizontal slash. You've got a overhead, and you've got a stab. And you do that by either clicking or rolling your mouse button up and down, and you can combo the moves together. And people come apart in that game. You can slice arms off, heads. There's a pretty cool
Yes.
parry system. It is It's pretty awesome, and there's some really nice game modes as well. The game modes are kind of based on enemy. You remember Wolfenstein Enemy Territory from a while ago? Anyone? Yeah.
Oh yes.
Where like there was multiple objectives, like escort the tank to the bank, blow up the vault doors, get the gold out. Yeah, it's pretty much that. Only it's take the corpse wagon to the gates, break down the gates, empty the corpses into the water system to poison the nearby village, and then go and kill the king's family, which is hiding behind these doors. And there's one which is just purely slaughter the filthy peasants. And
That sounds.
there's 100
lovely.
filthy peasants on a level. There's guys defending the filthy peasants, and then there's guys attacking them. And there's another one where you got to burn the fields and the granary and slaughter the innocent. It's really kind of awesome.
Pillage
I love
the
that this game
village.
is called Chivalry.
And
Yeah, that is the
that's what I'm
irony.
talking about. Like, this doesn't
Well,
differ
there's
from
two
anything.
sides. There's the chivalrous guys, and then there's the really evil guys. They all have different
Okay.
voice acting as well. Like the most of the voice acting for the evil guys is just kind of screaming very hoarsely at the top of their lungs. There's a battle cry button, so you just like keep spamming the battle cry button, and there's a wide variety of different screeches, and then you slaughter people. It's really quite fantastic.
I want that game to have on their website. There's a wide variety of different screeches. TotalBiscuit.
That was the quote. Yeah, actually, Ravaged asked me for a quote. I need to come up with something like that for Ravaged. It's like, there's a wide variety of different swear words. There you go.
Boom.
All the swears. TotalBiscuit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Chivalry coming out in a few
playing
weeks. It's fun.
Warcraft the last 2 days, like
Oh,
nonstop.
So
Oh,
is my roommates.
Miss Masks
Good.
of
Your
Panda.
roommates are smart people.
Yeah. Tell
The
me
new
about
expansion-
Masks of Panda.
Pandas all day.
What has
the new
been your experience
expansion-
over the last couple of days?
It's kind of wonderful. I know I'm one of those people who like every time WoW drags on, I'm like, oh, this game's so old and boring now. And then a new expansion comes out, and I'm like, I love it. I love you so much.
What came out? The panda thing?
Yeah.
Yes,
Fighting
Panda.
pandas.
Panda thing.
Yeah.
The new
Awesome.
zone is like example of last night. Krendo and I were streaming, playing through the second zone, the Valley of the Four Winds. Halfway through, well, first off, I don't know what Blizzard's fetish is right now with young, annoying girls, but after Leah in Diablo 3 and now Lily in
Oh, come on.
there's
Oh,
a girl
man.
there's a panda girl who hangs out with Chen Stormstout, like a total badass,
Mhm.
and she's like, Uncle Chen, we're drinking beer. That's borderline what her voice is. And so if you go on quests with her, like halfway through it, you have to go on quests with her and do stuff with her, and she says stuff like there's nothing endearing about this character. You'll be like in this one quest doing like collecting muddy water, and she'll be like, let's do that again. I love getting muddy water in my eyes. I was being sarcastic, by the way. It's like, who designed you as a character? You are
Slap her.
entirely unlikable. And every time she talks, I'm just like, I'm gonna kill you, little girl. I hate her so much. But that said, everything else is wonderful. Like, there's a bunch of little things. Well, besides the world, the new Pandaria world, for example, is so damn beautiful for a graphics engine that is, let's say, 9 years old at least, because the game's 7 years old. So you have to figure they started before that, right? 9 years old. It looks great. And the thing is, we were there, and then after he left, I went and did pet battle stuff. Going back to the old zones, the difference is really stark. The old zones look like shit compared to the Pandaria zones. It's true. They really
That's
do.
always the way, though. That's been the way since the first expansion. I mean, you had the Burning Crusade stuff just completely flattened all of the other stuff.
Like
It looked
Nagrand
so much better.
blew minds at the time, yeah. Like Nagrand's still one of the most beautiful things they've done, but this new stuff is pretty great. And so one of the little things that I actually really liked that I thought was kind of unique, and I don't know if a lot of MMOs do this, but I think this is new to Blizz. The storylines, the different storylines. First off, the new starting zone, they've added a ton of cinematics. If you remember Wrath of the Lich King, how it had cinematic, like not cinematics, but like the in-game ones.
Cataclysm had a lot of those.
Did it?
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But like the first zone has a ton, and they get really good as you go through, and it's really fun. But one of the things they actually do now is storyline stuff. They send you to where a dungeon is, and then for story reasons and a quest reason, you go through the dungeon before there's even bosses in it. So
it's instanced, so that they're doing a lot of more of the stuff instanced.
There's a
Or
lot
can you
of
just
things-
walk into it? Is it a portal?
Well, I mean, when you first get there, it's phased, so it's a normal place. You can walk in, you can talk to people, everything's fine. Like the temple, the Jade Serpent or whatever that one's called, the Jade Temple. You go through it and you quest in there and you do stuff, and then when you leave, then it becomes a dungeon. Like it's blocked off. So there's a part where you play as Chen Stormstout and you go through the Stormstout Brewery, which is the second dungeon. So it's like it gives people experience with the location before they noob it up and go into a dungeon and have no clue what they're doing.
And it also, handily enough, allows them to reuse the same scenery twice.
It's true. It's true. But with that said, Blizzard is like most MMOs is pretty famous for reusing. Like there's these guys that they're called like some like ancient spirits or something. It's basically a wraith skin with like a man face now.
Yes.
You know, same damn thing.
No one will notice.
When the dragons at the end of the last raid in Cataclysm also reskins from like 5 years ago?
No, they've been progressively, like the named dragons, they've been progressively giving them special skins. But yeah, all the dragons still look pretty much the same as they did way back when.
Yeah.
But the new dragons are so beautiful. The like Chinese style dragons are just amazing. The Mogu as a race look like the like lion doggy things that you see outside of like ancient Chinese temples. It's amazing.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Everything about this game is very sort of, you know, they bump for as silly as a concept it is, it's really fun. And I can see how a lot of people would come back to it. However, with that said, it's still WoW. There's no difference.
What I've been wondering though is how is it playing with the panda thing? Like, what's it like compared to the other?
Well, I mean, there's no difference really. I mean, it's funny. They're already level 85 panda people.
Christ!
Wow.
Easy.
What?
The people class changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can pay for that.
Race change. Yeah. I think people could do that right away, but apparently there's 80. I saw an 86 panda yesterday. And I was like, why did you do this? And he's like, I class changed. I was like, oh, good. I thought you were a crazy person. And so
How you've been playing, you know.
I don't see how that would be even possible. You know, in one day to get to 86, nah, can't be done.
How fast can you get to 86?
Not in a day.
maybe
Like a week? A week? Yeah.
there's people in my guild right now who, without cheating, are level 90, and they were level 90 yesterday. So a day and a half to get 5 levels.
Fucking hell.
Jeez, man.
But they did it through the least fun way possible, which was grind out dungeons over and over and over. And
I did that in TBC, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Thank you very much. I had some amazing gear by the time I got to the end of that.
I guess I'm like I guess I'm too much of a lore nerd. I want to hear your story. And of course, this game now caters to me because now there's secret scrolls to be found in every single zone that tell you the history of this wonderful land. So I'm literally looking around for them. And last night on the stream, I'm running around and I was like, I have part 1 and part 3 of this scroll, but I don't have part 2. And I went online to look for it. And I'm like, it's like 4 zones in. Why would they do that to me? Is it something awesome? And I'm really excited. And everyone was like, no, dude, it's in the house behind you. Insert 15 minutes of trolling now where I'm looking for stuff that doesn't exist. And they're like, it's in the house with the blue roof. And then I look up and all the houses have blue roofs. So I was like,
oh, I love exploiting lore nerds. It's the best. It really is.
I also tried to go for server first Skinner. I got it last expansion. I was like, the strategy's easy. I'll just do it this time. So I went online. And just, like, the very first day, I'm just sitting there skinning corpses. Like, I'm going to get this shit. Find out some dude had it, like, before I even started.
How long did it take you to find out?
Someone told me, finally. I was halfway there.
So hours, like, then.
Yeah, I think they were just like, dude, just go quest. Just stop this. Stop this insanity. So.
Oh, my.
I like it. I think it's fun. But if you don't like WoW, you're not going to like it. And if you're tired of MMOs, you're not going to like it.
I am so tired of MMOs right now.
It's the exact same thing. Even though they changed skills and stuff, it's the exact same thing. So to try and sell it on someone is like, it's totally new. If you ever hear anyone tell you that, they're lying or they work for Blizzard. Yeah. It's the exact same thing. It just looks beautiful and there's a different story. So if you're into the story of WoW, because I'm a big old nerd, then that's fun. But other than that,
yeah, I think I might actually be done with MMORPGs entirely. I can't even summon the enthusiasm to play Guild Wars at this point.
That's what I was about to say.
It's just like, it's an insurmountable wall every time I look at it. It's like, oh god, I'm gonna have to play this so much to actually get anywhere with it. And
Well,
I
I
just
mean,
can't be bothered.
Guild Wars 2, I still think has like a really fun leveling system, and the PvP is still the best. It's still great. World v World, like every Friday, that's like my thing. Servers set.
I have PlanetSide 2 beta. I don't care about World v World. You know, I can fly actual aircraft and shoot actual FPS guns in PlanetSide 2 and have this same experience.
But in PlanetSide 2, while the experience is the same, does it have like you can blow up bases and take like an example of why I love Guild Wars 2 is we were my guild and we were assaulting this server because you can fight different servers. We were assaulting a server. And we had taken their power orb, and we were securing a base and fortifying it and building up the walls and stuff, and we were doing great. But the southern half of the server, nothing was really happening there. But the other team was consolidating their fortresses, and I was like, how can we best mess with these guys? So I took a ton of trebuchets, went down there, got on an island, and started lobbing like fireballs at their walls, not their gates, not like somewhere. Just a random wall, and I destroyed the wall, and then we ran in through the wall and took over the fort. Like that stuff, like where you can destroy everything, makes that amazing. There is nothing sacred. There's some really shisty stuff going on in that game. There's people who are like will infiltrate your guild. There's people. I mean, it's crazy pants. I honestly have not ever had PvP that serious, and for those who watch any streams I do who are in my guild / group, I might take things a little serious. I'm like, this is serious business.
Try hard.
I give them speeches, and then it always ends with like, you have to carry the team on your back. If you've never seen that YouTube video, look it up. Gotta carry the team on your back. It's great. I love World v World. But other than that, no, I agree. I don't see the point of leveling in that. WoW, or not leveling, but questing. WoW, questing's still the same. I can see I'll be grindy. Krendo and I are just dicking around having fun. So that, again, better with friends. And, I don't know, most MMOs, I agree with you. I think MMOs in general, MMORPGs, sorry. The questing system, leveling, playing them, getting kind of tiresome. I think we talked about this last week. We created our perfect MMO.
Yeah, let's not go too in depth on it.
A lot of people really, really liked our discussion, and they were like, I'd buy that game. And I was like, good, because you'll save your money.
It will eventually come out. Yeah, the game that we will never release.
Like 20 years.
Yeah, that'll work. All right. Anything else that people have been playing this week?
I started the Testament of Sherlock Holmes, the new Sherlock Holmes game, and it's great because it's by the same company that did all of the other Sherlock Holmes games, but they put more money and time into it. The textures are way better, the movement is way better, and I feel like what they did, they said, we're gonna make the way that you do deductions the same, the way that you approach a crime scene is gonna be the same, like everything in terms of the mechanics will be the same, but we're going to identify the things that were tedious, the things that didn't necessarily need to be part of it, and we're going to take that out. And it made it so good. I've only played like an hour of it, but I really, really, really like it so far, and I'm really excited to keep playing it. Apparently
hour two is when it goes downhill.
It. Huh? Hour two, it just...
Hour one's
like,
so good that it's just like...
I can't wait for hour two then, because that's probably when I'll start loving it more. But yeah, I think if you like point and click crime games, then Testament of Sherlock Holmes is a really good step up from the other Sherlock Holmes games.
What's the story about on that one?
So far,
Moriarty.
So for the first 1 hour. Apparently, so.
For the first 1 hour, they take you through like the very end of a crime so that you learn how to use the game if you've never played them before. And then the very beginning of this new crime is that a bishop has been horribly tortured, and we don't know who did it, and we don't know what they wanted out of it. He's dead.
Did he die?
Okay. Oh, I thought you just said he
He's
got
hella
tortured.
dead.
Like, I don't know who did it to me.
Hella dead. You walk in and he is busted up, and you're like, whoa! So.
Do you have suspicions on who it was?
We know that it was some like just normal blue-collar workers that were probably hired by somebody with a lot of money, but we don't know what they were looking for, and we think that they didn't get it because the
Ooh.
bishop was into self-flagellation and he was able to resist torture for a long time. Those are all the things that we've learned so far. So
That is the first hour of a game if I ever heard one.
yeah, dog. A lot happened.
Yep.
So
A lot better than the first half of XCOM. The demo came out a couple of days ago.
everybody was so excited for the demo. I haven't played it.
There's not enough to the demo, and they give you too much early stuff because they're scared of spoiling other things. And the problem is they left an impression that the game was seriously dumbed down in comparison to the originals, and that is not what you want to do when you've got a really big, important franchise like XCOM. That is not a good idea. So there's been quite a lot of criticism of the game. Rock Paper Shotgun put out an article that said most of this criticism is wrong because 40 hours in it's different. It's like, well, that's fine, but at the end of the day, this is...
Wait.
Rock Paper Shotgun has played over 60 hours of this game. Like, for some reason, I don't know why it is. They just gave it to the RPS guys, and barely anyone else has the full game. And they have just gone so in-depth on it, which is great. But at the end of the day, if you're going to put out a demo, then that's going to reflect on your product in some way. So if you choose to only put out a tutorial mission and the second mission of the game, give you no base building, give you no trooper customization, give you no aerial interception, and script the hell out of both of those levels to the point where there is no mystery in any of them, which is the real strength of XCOM, the idea that it's dark, it's creepy, there's randomly generated levels, you have no idea what's hiding around the corner, and you'll probably get killed by it. Yeah, it's not that great. Also, they defaulted it to easy difficulty. Someone managed to unlock it via a .ini file edit, and apparently it's a lot better when you do that, but they didn't put their best foot forward on that game. It's still good, but it's not good as an XCOM game. Like, a game that's good as an XCOM game is Xenonauts, which is a game that's coming out from an indie dev that is basically a recreation of XCOM, but set in the Cold War era, which is really cool, because the way that they've done the tech in that game is way more interesting. So, yeah, I'll still pick up the full game and hope not to be disappointed by it, but again, the demo left a bit of a sour taste in the mouth.
It's too bad.
It's bad when the defense of your game is wait 40 hours. And
Yeah,
then
I was
it's
gonna
good.
say 40 hours in. I don't have the patience for that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
this is the
1
argument
hour
that...
in with Sherlock Holmes and
Yeah, I
man.
was talking about. I said the same thing with Borderlands. Actually, someone said, "Oh no, in New Game Plus it gets much better," or in Diablo 3 in next difficulty it gets much better. I do not have 20 hours for this game to get good. I want it to be good now. And if
That's
your
not the
game
way
isn't
that it
good
should
at the start,
be. That's bad design.
yeah,
If that's
it is bad design. It's unquestionably bad design.
what would make you want to play that long, you know? If
Right,
you don't
if-
get into it.
You want to
Sorry.
soldier on through? You know what? I don't have that kind of time. You know, if I'm an unemployed kid with nothing better to do with my time, maybe I'll accept that. I'm not. I've got a lot to do. I want the game to be good from the start. And if it isn't, then I'm going to have problems with it.
But even a person with infinite amounts of free time
Should
you
still
have to
view that
have
as
your
bad.
reason- Yeah, you're still not going to sit through a shitty game and be like, I hear it gets better 40 hours in.
Yeah, man.
Who
That would
do
immediately make me go, maybe I just won't
Won't
it.
play it.
Maybe
then.
I'll play another
Yeah,
game instead.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure XCOM gets better before that, but, you know, just bear in mind that those games are designed to be played over the long term. But still, the starting missions of the original XCOMs were tense. They were actually some of the most tense in the game, because your technology sucks, and you are just cannon fodder. Like, aliens can completely destroy you if you don't play it right. When you get later on in the game and you're in power armor and you've got all sorts of crazy mind control tech, it's not actually as interesting because you're more powerful and the fear aspect starts to disappear. So I want my XCOM game to be good from the beginning. And I don't know, I imagine that it is probably better than the demo is letting on. But again, if your demo is giving that impression, then you've made a bad demo. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we shall see. It's out in a few weeks, and hopefully it will not suck. And
Fingers
I
crossed.
played a bit more War of the Roses, actually. I keep playing that game. I keep coming back to it. It's now on pre-release, so anyone I think that pre-ordered it has access to it now. And the amount of polish they've put into that is just sickeningly good. The game looks gorgeous. It's the best-looking game I've ever seen from Paradox, ever. It's like a full 1080p, really nice game with all the latest advanced effects, like weather effects that blow you away, really nice shiny armor, lighting is
Look it up.
awesome.
Making me look it up.
And
I know, that's what I'm doing too.
Well, it's a medieval combat game. It handles quite similar to Mount & Blade, but it's a bit more refined and it's focused on multiplayer battles. And
the foliage, so this is going to be a really weird statement.
can't
The
even get to the
foliage is
website,
really
it's asking
nice
me.
in the pictures.
yeah, the foliage is really nice. Like, there's a lot of detail in that game, a lot of it, and they've polished it so well. But it still has a few problems. The combat's still a bit whiffy, which I don't really like. I think it's just to do with the animations of people attacking you. They're kind of like, let us say this screwdriver is a sword. Yep.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
just saying. So normally you would, with a sword, you'd kind of have these very strong kind of thrusts like that. Yeah, and it's more like there's no acceleration in the thrust. It's kind of like going like this, sort of waving around. And you don't really get that feel, that you don't really see some real impacts or anything like that. The combat still feels a bit floaty in full-on hand-to-hand combat, which is unfortunate. I think they still need to tighten that up. What I will say is archery in that game is superbly satisfying. They have got the sound design in that game is completely down. You fire off an arrow, and it feels great because you've got a lot of tension on your arm, and the arm shakes, and then when you fire it off, it feels like you've really thrown a lot of force in one direction. And when it hits somebody, the noise is it's beautiful. Even when you get a headshot, the medieval announcer like goes, "Headshot!" It's like, yes, that's what I want. The hit detection in that game is so precise as well. You could send an arrow through the visor of somebody. That's possible. You can actually lower and raise your visor in that game, which blocks out areas of the screen if you do it, but it protects you from arrows and attacks. The hit detection is incredibly precise. You want to shoot someone in the finger, you can shoot someone in the finger. You look for the unarmored part of them and send an arrow in that direction. Yeah. So, it's got problems. The multiplayer is limited to just deathmatch and conquest, which compared to Chivalry, for instance, that's nowhere near as interesting as Slaughter the Dirty Peasants, but it's still good. It's still a good game.
Slaughtering peasants.
Slaughter
It's
those filthy
interesting.
peasants.
Total piss.
Not a lot tops that.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else played anything else before we go to a break? And when we come back, we'll do news.
I mean, I guess there's been a recent new release since we've been talking about a lot of like mature games. Kirby's Collection came out this week or like
I did
the
not
past week or
actually.
something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like the 20th anniversary thing for Kirby. I don't know. It's just like a big bundle of like 5 Kirby games or something and
That's
thrown into
awesome.
one. I mean, I checked it out, but the only bad thing it's games that have been released for a while. But I mean,
I still play Kirby games.
fun.
They're great.
Yeah,
I was actually aware of this, and the reason why is at PAX I didn't get to see it because I had to catch my flight on Saturday. But they had a bubblegum
That Kirby
chewing
thing.
contest.
Yes, they did. Yes.
And everyone who went, and I wanted to go to this so bad. Everyone who went got a pink T-shirt with Kirby's face on it, and I was like, I want a bright pink T-shirt so badly with Kirby's face on it. And
World record 2 or something.
no
'Cause I
such
heard
luck. Yeah, it was a world record. They were
world
trying to get as many people in the area to chew bubblegum and blow bubbles at the same time for a world record. And at the end, you got a free T-shirt. And I was so mad. I was so furious. There are people out there with an awesome Kirby T-shirt, and I'm not one of them.
That is true.
Limited edition.
Oh dear. Oh, you remember that game we were talking about, Minion Master, that we all played?
Yes, yeah.
Did you
yeah.
get cards from them?
Yeah.
I did get a card. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
these things. The deck of cards that they've done.
No, we
I
got.
didn't get a deck.
got
but
one
we each
card.
got
Oh.
one card.
Okay,
You
yeah,
don't
I call the
just-
decks of these
they're-
things. Like, you
they're
can't play
cameras.
them at all. They're just designed for PR. But there's some seriously nice card art on some of these. They're really quite good. As you can see,
that's what I used to destroy Dodger.
Wow.
Magnetic
We
draw.
played. I used my shaman powers to summon undeads and destroy her.
They're pretty cool. I like this. This is probably my favorite, actually. That's
Card art.
What is that?
Little. Your camera's
Little
little fire.
crackers.
Okay, now I see it. There we
Yeah.
go.
There it is.
Play 6.
play
yeah,
on
so-
ally kobolds.
For those wondering, you don't really do anything with these actual cards they gave
No,
you.
no. There's no way in a million
They're
years
just
you could
physical
play anything with them.
representations
Yeah,
of
they're
cards
Yeah,
in
they're
the
just
game.
they're just for PR. They're
Of the cards
they're
in the
fun
game,
little
yeah,
things though.
Mhm.
I need to put out my video on that game, and I do have a bunch of beta codes actually. So if we want to play, we can play.
Yeah, awesome.
Let's
Sweet.
do it. Let's do it. It'll be
'Cause
fun.
you can do multiple people, right? So the 3 of us
Yeah.
could play. The 4, hell. I say we invite Rodri so I can actually win.
I don't know. I catch on pretty quick.
All right.
Why
Okay. I will go
soon.
through. I'll go through my
It's like a
suitcase and
challenge.
find all the beta code cards that they gave me, and then we can get on Minion Master. That'll be fun. All right. Well, I think that probably wraps up what we've been playing this week. I don't think there's. Oh, there's one more thing I want to talk about. One more. It's the weekly iOS toilet gaming session. Let's talk about Rayman. Rayman on iOS.
Oh no!
Is it?
Why
Oh.
port that?
Please.
It's not terrible.
What?
It's
What?
Rayman
How do you
Jungle
play
Run. It's the way that they've done it, rather than having controls, is they did it kind of like Tiny Wings, where it's just a one-button game. So
Oh.
Rayman runs and then jumps when you press the thing, but you still got to be very precise. And the aim is to get all of the little whatever the balls, those yellow things that sing and play saxophone are.
Little fairy things.
Yeah, those things. So
Yeah.
you go like the graphics are as good as Rayman Origins. They look gorgeous, but you're just going through the levels and jumping and swinging on stuff and make sure you collect everything in the level. It's not bad. Like
Huh.
for about $2.
I prefer to control my Rayman. I don't
Thank
know.
you.
I just,
Thank
right?
you.
Well,
I don't
duh,
wanna just
but you don't. You know,
run-
if you want to do
I
that,
don't-
you play it on a handheld. You don't play it on an
I was
iOS
gonna say,
device.
it's not
It
like
doesn't
you
have
don't
any
have an option on
controls.
that game.
It sounds like Temple Trek. You know that one game?
Which
That's
one?
Like Temple Run.
Yeah, well, the
Oh, yeah.
Infinite Runner thing is a whole thing now. That's an entire genre on iOS for whatever reason. I don't know. I cannot explain the popularity of Temple Run. I cannot. I hate that game.
Me neither.
No.
I can't stand that game.
It's horrible.
I mean, not a lot to it.
It's just like
Simplicity works.
Temple Run's basically like doing those little things that you see at carnivals where you've got to move the ring around the wire and don't touch the wire, only forever. And you know what? I'm not really interested in that concept.
That's weird. I thought you were
kinda
gonna
that.
say it's like the carnival game where you shoot the water into the hole and the guy climbs the mountain and goes and he climbs the mountain
No.
and you race with other
What
people.
are these
Only
games
forever?
you're playing?
I like my yodeling. Yeah, la, la, la.
Also, I don't know what this is. I have acquired this, and I'm not sure what it is. So, this was in my suitcase from PAX.
I gave it to you.
Did you? It's got the QR code on it. Like, what is that?
It's a first off, it's a flask. I have one too.
Someone scan this code.
The guys from Outbreak. Was that what it was? Zombie. Where you, it's like
Containment
it's
the
like,
zombie puzzler.
Yeah, the zombie puzzler.
Scan it. My
That's-
arm
that's
is
their
hurting.
company. That's their company logo.
I'll try the other
and-
arm.
And so that's their thing. And they gave me free codes for that game and a bunch of stuff. So
They
if
give you a
anyone,
flask for free.
yeah, I did an interview with those guys.
Oh, come
Alright,
on,
check
come into focus.
And at the end, they were like, "Here, have a flask." And I was like, "Well, that's awesome." Like, you know what? Have a second one.
focusing.
Apparently, I look like a bit of a lush, so they gave me 2 flasks. And
flasks,
I went
free
to lunch with TB and gave him.
Nah, it refuses to focus.
A flask.
It doesn't help that I can't keep it straight there, but oh well, never mind.
Never went into focus. I'm so sad.
Oh
It's
well,
okay.
never mind. It probably just says containment, the zombie puzzler. That would make
Yeah.
sense. So let's
That's
not
what I
waste any
wrote
more
down.
time on it.
Like, look at our website.
Pretty much.
I think I actually. We talked about this after PAX. Like, I really liked that game. I thought that was I think it was at the time it was $3 on Steam too. So we were like, go buy it. So if anyone watching right now bought it and you want to let us know how it is, I love it. I think it's a great game. It's simple. It's like Bejeweled, but you're killing zombies.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
It is.
Addictive.
I think that's the thing. Yeah.
All
TV
right.
Is actively looking online. Like
I'm just
most-
reading. I'm just reading to Twitter and also trying to find out what this QR code is. But all right, I'm going to go to a quick break, I think, and you guys can come with me if you like. When we come back, we will do some
Let's go.
news and maybe some releases. That sounds good. You are watching the Game Station podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back soon. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Game Station podcast. Okay, let's do some news, shall we?
No.
Yes, let's do it.
Not a huge amount, really, on the scene right now, although there is one that's been ruffling a few feathers as of late. An article over on beefjack.com as regards to
Beef Jake.
beef. Yeah, they sound delicious. I occasionally go to that site. It's pretty good. And this is on the subject of Terraria. Yeah, so
Yay!
Well, not so much yay, unfortunately. So what's been going on?
No.
What has been going on is that Terraria hasn't had a lot of news for a long time because they officially closed up shop on doing anything with the game many months ago, and they said, "Well, we're done with it." And there was a hype up kind of post on their Facebook for about 24 hours showing this little ASCII logo of Terraria saying, "Ooh, what could be coming?" And everyone goes, "Ooh, Terraria, new Terraria content." And what happens? They announce the console port.
Console, yeah.
And then they announced the console port will be getting exclusive content, and now they've confirmed that that will not be coming to PC in any form.
Nope.
Wah, wah, wah.
So it's like the reverse Minecraft thing right there for you.
Pretty much.
But what happened is when asked about it, though, they said, well, basically we let some other we gave the rights to some dudes to port it to console, and they're the ones doing it. We haven't touched the game.
Yeah, someone else was willing to work on it, and they were only willing to work on it for console.
I don't know who you can blame there. I mean,
well, the problem with this, which is something that Beef Jack does not mention, which is unfortunate, is that this is not the first time that that someone has offered to kind of take it off their hands and continue development. There's a company called Gaslamp, who are responsible for Dungeons of Dreadmore, who are rather wonderful. They offered, around the time of Reddit basically saying we're done with Terraria, to continue development on it and continue work on it, and Reddit said no. So what's essentially happened here is they have sold the rights to a company to do the console version, but they're not willing to let anyone continue development on PC, and that, I think, is why people are upset.
Oh, that's weird.
That is, that's strange. But I wonder if they're thinking the Terraria, people, if you're gonna buy it, you probably have bought it already on PC, and so console's a new market, so they can earn money that way. I don't know. It sounds very businessy decision because it isn't.
Well, of course.
It doesn't make logic sense. It makes business sense.
If you're such a loyal fan, though, you'll go ahead and purchase the console version just to see the exclusives. So they'll get double the money.
Well, yeah, that's the exploitation, isn't it? I mean, that's why the whole fact that they announced this on their Facebook, which is only followed by people that like the game anyway, who all own it on PC because it's not on anything else. That's what's really weird about it. It's like, did you expect people to be happy about this? I mean, Terraria runs on anything. It's not like you need it on console. You can run it on a netbook. You can run it on your dad's 20-year-old PC. It runs fine. So it's not exciting, I don't think, for console users that this game is coming out. I don't see any console users saying, "Oh god,
so much as a bad thing." Considering how when they put Minecraft onto the console and it was just crap. I mean, it didn't have anything. At least the console users are going to be getting the benefit of more exclusive features compared to what you would normally get on the PC.
Can we quote you on that?
Bad thing.
Minecraft on consoles was crap. I agree.
Well, it is.
So.
I mean, you could basically break blocks. That's about it. Put them down.
It was the same as Minecraft Pocket. They only just put creepers into the game about 2 years after it came out. Come on.
Seriously. I don't know. I don't see the Terraria thing as a bad thing. I think it's okay. At least they're doing something to the game still. And at least there will be a little more content to it. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't think we're entitled to anything. I mean, they did edit the game a lot. The content patch that they put in with hard mode and everything in it pretty much doubled the content of the game, and it's still a $10 game. So it's it's hard to complain. It's not like you haven't got your money's worth out of it. It does still leave a little bit of a sour taste, though. You've got to admit that, surely.
Definitely.
Sure.
I wish we could get those features on the PC too, but
it's like the Demon Souls port, the Dark Souls port. The console users were upset about that lack of content coming over to console that was given to PC users, but they are going to port it. So that's going to be a DLC available eventually. But there's not even a possibility of it ending up on PC. So I think people are a bit riled about that.
But they are working on an entirely new game that is pretty much PC only.
But they're not, though. Reddit isn't working on a damn thing, as far as I can tell. The only guys you're talking about, Starbound from Chucklefish. Yeah. Chucklefish is not Relogic; it's a separate company, and there's one guy from the 3-man Terraria team that's working on it. And he was the art guy. Oh. I mean, that's still saying almost that's a third, or arguably, depending on workload, maybe half of Relogic that's working on that. But Reddit's not doing jack. And Reddit has a family. Reddit is not, as far as I'm aware, working on any game.
Them residuals.
Residuals.
Well, they sold over 1 million copies of that game, so they made bank on it. I don't. Bear in mind that this game apparently, I think they were saying something ridiculous as they made the game in essentially 4 months or whatever. Which
That's crazy.
Why would they
nuts.
stop updating it though, with like so much money rolling in?
Well,
And with
because it
success
becomes
of, like-
diminishing returns. Because people
Right.
are still going to buy Terraria anyway, regardless of whether or not you update it with content. If you continue to work on it, then unless you get enough sales to justify it, it's not like Team Fortress 2 used to be, where they're trying to get people onto Steam, so they update the game with new content for like 4 years before going free to play. This is a $10 indie game. They're going to get diminishing returns the further they go into it. But one way or the other, it's I don't begrudge them not continuing Terraria. I really don't.
It gives us time to catch up. To the end.
You know what? I would
Watch
say
Mario
I pity the console users. You have to deal with the horrible inventory management system in that game, and you have to do it
Have
on
fun.
a pad. Enjoy. Oh God, that's a horrible thought.
Well,
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Well, it
Agreed.
turns out that's not much of an in-depth topic then, is it? So
I have nothing to contribute. I've never played Terraria.
I
What?
know a great
Really?
playthrough you can watch.
Terraria's fantastic.
yeah, we know of a playthrough that is.
Oh, I've watched some of your playthrough.
That's
If
why you
you
never
want-
played it. We put you off the game for life, and I don't blame you.
If you want, I would recommend the next 4 episodes. You should watch them. Has a twist. So
yes.
It's
Nothing
one-
is.
It's like the perfect story arc. I can't even describe to you how perfect of a story arc it is because we start on a quest that ends 4 episodes later in the funniest effing way possible. I can't even describe to you. I'm not gonna spoil it. It's just amazing.
Great.
So I would highly recommend.
I will
you
commit
devote
myself
an
to
hour
this.
and a half.
Checking that out. All right.
Yeah. We have
It's
4 episodes
great.
ready. They're sitting in the Dropbox right now. You can't have them. We'll put them out at the weekend. Or we'll at least put 2 out at the weekend. So,
It's wonderful.
what will happen in the next shocking episode of Terraria? The
I'm telling
exciting
you,
conclusion.
it's written. The next 4 episodes are written by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh man.
So there's gonna be a twist, but we can't guarantee it'll be good. But there will be a twist at the end.
Yeah, indeed.
Spoiler: the aliens can be killed by water.
They'd
Which movie was spoiled? You'll have to watch all of them to find out.
no. I kind of liked Signs
crazy.
until the whole you can kill the aliens that you never saw previously with bloody water pistols. That's,
You know what? That's what the movie was good up until they were like. That's the
They
problem I have
showed
with
the
all
alien
movies.
until the
They
reveal.
kill the monster, yeah.
Yeah, because that game was creepy as hell before that.
Right? Oh, Shyamalan.
Oh
Then you made Avatar and ruined my day.
Oh man.
God.
He killed that whole. Man. It's almost as bad as the Aragon movie. Did you guys ever watch that one?
No, I didn't. It
gosh.
for the
No
best.
dragon the dude rode on,
Oh.
like riding like. garbage.
Oh
Sounds like a
man.
really terrible version of the never-ending story.
It's like
It's horrible.
Real.
both those movies, like all bad movies, for some reason have the final movie scene. It's like there's gonna be a sequel to this. We promise.
No, there isn't. It's done. Tanked.
You've ruined something special. You're a
We
dick.
haven't talked about Dread, have we?
Oh
Because
God, I'm
it's
so excited.
good.
Dude, okay.
I've seen it.
Hold up.
What?
Is it all right? I was looking around. I was like, this movie for months I've thought it looked like just garbage. And then I went to Rotten Tomatoes, which is like my every Friday I go there to see what's happening. It had like an 89%,
What?
and my mind was blown. Apparently, it's really effing good. And I
Yeah.
I
was
can't
like,
wait. I can't wait. What?
Well,
No.
the funny thing is that before it came out, it had like about a 78 on Metacritic, and then tanked down to about 50. And I have to wonder if it's just organizations and media outlets being contrarian, saying, "Oh, this comic book movie has got good ratings. Well, we'll sure show them." But the Rotten Tomatoes rating is still really high, and
because
rightfully
they only
so.
use like legit critics and stuff. Well,
Well,
I
Rotten
guess there's-
Tomatoes is all about whether the audience liked it or not. That's the only rating that matters. Is that rating? Screw what the critics say. Did you like it? That's why Rotten Tomatoes is such a good thing. Dread has a 76 at the moment on there, which
Right?
is pretty high.
That's
not
pretty
bad.
high on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah,
Yeah. That's pretty
So, I
high.
mean-
Bad at all.
that's
I
crazy.
loved it. I I absolutely loved it. It was.
I was like, I have to see this movie now.
The thing is, like, it's actually a pretty low budget movie. I think they were saying only cost about 50 million to make. Most of it is set inside this big apartment block, basically this mega
like
block.
The Raid. If you ever seen the movie
Yes,
The Raid,
it is like The Raid. Yeah, and it focuses very much on 3 characters. It focuses on Dread's kind of rookie apprentice who's on her assignment, on a kind of assessment thing, and the big bad, who, and those are the 3.
Cersei.
Who?
The Queen from.
She's got.
Cersei?
They just call, oh yeah, yes, yeah. She's.
Game of Thrones.
Yes, she is actually the guy from. Yeah, I actually didn't make that connection, and now I have. It's because they made
There's
a.
also Sarah Connor from the short-lived Terminator series.
Indeed. Yeah.
Oh, whatever happened to
Yeah.
that?
Rightfully cancelled.
Yeah, sort
Yeah.
of figured.
It wasn't that great anyway.
Never watched it.
It's not great, but it is good. I liked it a lot. I liked the fact that it was a very simple concept, but they stayed very true to the comic. And I like the fact that Karl Urban never takes his helmet off the entire time. Like,
Yes.
Karl Urban isn't in that movie. It's Karl Urban's chin and being Judge Dredd. That's what it is. And it's great.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Love
the
it.
one thing that was ridiculous about the Stallone version is Dredd in the comics never removes his helmet for
No,
anything.
why would he?
Never. There's no reason. And this one, at least the outfits and stuff, everything looks like it would be in the
It's
Judge Dredd
grimy.
movie.
It's
like
dirty.
bodysuit with
Yeah.
giant shoulder pads for no reason.
Yep.
It's like the original one, not that great.
Yeah, it looked too clean. Like the everything that Stallone wore, like looked too clean. The whole big gold emblazoned. The shoulder pads were huge with gold trimming everywhere. It's like here, it's very utilitarian and it's great. Apparently, it costs 45 million to make. They can make a sequel if they make 50 million in North America. So make it happen. It's actually good. Like the 3D is understated, but works really well with the slow-mo effects. Slow
I heard it's
motion in that
supposed to be,
film is brilliant.
I heard it's supposed to be like some of the best 3D in a movie in a long time.
For
And I
all of
was
the all of the slow-mo scenes
Since
in 3D
Avatar.
are gorgeous.
Yeah.
They are gorgeous. Yeah, and this movie didn't cost like 300 million to make. This cost 45 million. Not a lot of money. So yeah, it's got very little to do with video games, but I heartily recommend Dread. I think it's a nice, simple, well-written Dread story. That's it. There's no bells and
it's
whistles
in
at all.
the nerd genre.
Yes,
If you're a respectable nerd, you will be there.
indeed.
You'll love
Let's
it.
get a sequel, a big budget sequel.
Yeah. Although I don't even know if I want a
Yes.
big budget sequel. I want the grimy look. I want the focused plot, and that's what they gave you.
Throw more money at actors. Give us some A-listers in there.
How is
And
Karl
it'll-
Urban not an A-lister? Screw
Well,
you. Come on.
Hold up. Let's be honest.
Come
let's be
on.
honest. Carl Urban is like, he's new McCoy, and he was the sort of kind of bad guy in Red, and he's done a few other roles, but he's B-list. He's not like an A-list celebrity.
Yeah, but he's great in everything he does.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying he's terrific. He was one of the few reasons why I immediately was like, I can get behind this new Star Trek thing, because that character was kind of awesome.
Yep.
So
Yeah, he's great. Although he was in Priest. That was not a good
he
movie,
was
but that
Rocco.
wasn't his fault. He was in Chronicles of Riddick. He was in Red, which was great.
he was Vodka. I remember that in Chronicles. He
Chronicles
was.
of Riddick.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a new one coming out. They're making a new one.
I saw
I'm so
that.
excited.
Is it weird that Chronicles of Riddick is my movie that I can't say I like. I love this movie, but every time it's on TV, I will watch it
You
the
watch it.
entire way through.
Yeah.
Yes, me too.
I can't describe why.
I love
I
the
just
the
do.
design, like the overall set design and aesthetic of that movie is great. I really love it. It's fantastic. I mean, the lead character is but that's
Yeah.
fine because he serves to, because Riddick is so boring. He serves to make everything else look interesting by comparison. That's why he's there, and that's
He
why
was
you
a
put
dude
Vin
who
Diesel in
killed
any
him
movie.
Shadow. That was fucking awesome. Saying.
6 Fast and the Furious movies. They all came out great.
Yeah, man.
So-
Yeah,
The
all of them.
movie was the first time that I looked up special effects contact lenses, and I've never gone back. I keep frequenting them. That was the
Why
reason.
from that movie?
Because aren't his eyes all messed
Yeah,
up?
Riddick sees better in the dark.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Hence
He has
the
those
first movie
sweet
that they
eyes.
then sort of forgot about ish
Yeah.
for the second movie when they tried
Yep.
to go like big budget
Mhm.
sci-fi film.
Yeah.
Dude, his eyes are so cool. I'm looking right now. They're like galaxies.
Game's
Okay,
great
yeah.
as well. The Riddick game is one of the best licensed games ever made. It's brilliant.
Oh, Butcher
I didn't
Bay.
even
and
know
stuff
there
like that?
was
Yeah,
a game.
there is. There's two of
Riddick
them.
games.
Yeah, there's
they're
Butcher
both
Bay,
really
and
good.
then Assault on Dark Athena is the one you should play because it's the original game in much higher fidelity, and then Assault on Dark Athena, which is like another game. It's brilliant.
It's really good.
It's a
Those are
stealth
actually-
action first-person shooter, and it's fucking phenomenal.
They're way better than the actual movie, which is crazy. They're really good. If you haven't played those two games, find them. They're great.
Seriously good. They're all both available on PC, and they're great. Like you can get them right now. They're on Steam.
Have to check those out.
Riddick games.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Steam
Assault on
just
Dark
popped over.
Athena.
Yep.
Athena's
How much
really
is that?
good.
How much is Riddick? Yeah, $20
I don't
gets you
know.
Assault from Dark Athena on Steam at the moment.
I'm trying to remember the
It's on
totally
actress.
worth it.
Steam?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
The actress who plays the bad guy in that one is so good, but I don't remember her name.
Yep. The only problem with Riddick is on PC is that it's got a horrible Tegas DRM, which, like, if you keep reinstalling it over and over again, you have problems, which for Steam is a kind of a big deal. But aside from the DRM, the game's great.
What's so good about Dark Athena and all those games is it's not like a bad game port where they hire voice actors that sound similar to the character. Like
Well, they just
every
got Vin
character
Diesel.
in the
Vin Diesel
movies-
voice acts in that game, doesn't
Vin
he?
Diesel is like straight up going
Really?
hard.
Yeah.
Like, he
loves
doesn't
games.
just, like half-ass it. He goes hardcore. It's like I'm bringing this character. It's
Vin
really
goes
good.
hard.
He's like, I stalked them at night. It's like, yeah, awesome. It's good. So
Yeah, apparently those games were on sale last week, so somebody missed out. But
Ah.
they'll go on sale again. They're
Yeep,
good. They're good. All right, let's continue, shall we, with some news, if I can possibly find any. So there hasn't been a lot of news this week. There is an interesting, I would say interesting. This is the kind of article that you would present to a board meeting. Understanding the Modern Gamer by Google, and this is based on what the information they've gathered via their search engine. And they have come up with some interesting conclusions about the modern gamer and how things actually work. Now, the first thing that really struck me, and this is really cool, and I'm very happy that this is the case. Over the last year, there has been a marked rise, and in fact, this has been happening for a while. There's been a marked rise in searching for terms related to AAA games prior to the game coming out. And also that sticks around during launch month. There's the average search volume for a AAA game apparently during launch month is 673% higher than normal, and people are looking for info. And since 2009, there's been a massive growth in the amount of research that people are actually doing into titles.
Huh. I also, like, the other thing that I thought was interesting is that they were saying that after launch month, they have tons of people searching for DLC, like, immediately.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah,
One of
that is the number 2 search term, apparently, in post-launch. It's tips, DLC, review, image, and video.
Do we have a link that we can send to chat or something? Or
I think so. I don't think this is private. I think we can
No,
probably toss it.
it's a
It's a Google
Google's
Doc.
like,
Yeah.
yo.
It's a Google
did-
Doc.
Yeah, there's the
released
link.
to people.
If you're watching the VOD, it will be in the description below this video. It's a bit dry reading, honestly, but it's not as many words as you might think. And there's occasionally pictures of sorts,
There's
so
lots
you
of
might like
they
it.
make it easier. The pictures help. But one of the things that you can't help but notice is no matter what, this, even though it's talking about gamers and what gamers focus, what they're focusing on and when, the key point of this is to sell AdSense.
Yes.
Because at the very end, it says digital tools such as search offer gamers the unique ability to directly reach out to the publishers and retailers. Publishers and retailers, in turn, have a tremendous opportunity to drive even stronger results by reaching back to gamers. So
Mhm.
basically, hey,
It's
these
selling
guys are searching
AdWords.
for your-
Yeah.
these guys are searching for your shit. What if you give us money to put ads when they search for, like, they enter hardcore gaming experience and then your game's in the ad?
Mhm.
Like, it's very suave, and I'm just saying, like, this is how Blizzard.
Blizzard probably would do this too if they had the
Yeah, I mean,
means
no,
to
but
do
that's-
so.
yeah.
With Blizzard,
That's
it's
how
like,
Blizzard
buy
advertises.
items, guys. That's about it.
No, but I mean, that's a lot of people, like Blizzard this week. That's like, if people were like, I went on the internet and
Mr.
I
Pandaria.
went to a gaming channel and there was like 1 million commercials for WoW.
Yeah, they're
No
also...
shit. They're throwing them at gaming channels. They're targeting the audience, right?
Well,
It's the same thing.
this is an interesting claim. They are claiming, this is to read this out. Desktop engagement patterns closely align with game unit sale trends. There is a 0.92 correlation. AdWord clicks in the 10 months surrounding launch predict 84% of game unit sales. That is impressive. Scarily so.
Yeah.
But that's gamers. I mean, we aren't gonna. Gamers are very savvy in what they like and don't like, and I guarantee you, myself, Rodri Dodger, we're not gonna go look up stuff.
Did you just say Roger Dodger? Who the fuck
You
is
said
Roger?
Rodri
I was
Dodger.
gonna say.
I got confused for a second too.
Yeah, I don't even know. You know what I found interesting though? The mobile device thing.
Yeah.
168% increase in mobile searches for mobile, that's crazy. Mobile
Well, I
devices
can
are
read
really
about
taking
games on the
over this.
toilet. That's why it is.
Yeah, I
you
know.
Or on the bus, or on the
That's
plane.
definitely what it is. Everyone does it.
No
It's
question.
not the Game Boy anymore. It's the iPhone, you know?
Yeah, you buy an
Open that up over
$800
there.
toilet entertainment device. That's what it's for.
And you just tend to sit there once you're done, still playing, still looking.
Yeah, it seems like mobile search is still under desktop. The desktop search is the primary way of doing things. So
Yes,
if people are
so it's
looking
like
for information
90%
on
of it.
video games, they're looking for it via a desktop machine. But there has been a marked increase of searches
Yeah,
on
mobile is increasing. That's one of the things they talk about.
Well, it's because browsing is getting better and better on a phone. I remember it was 2 phones ago, I had the Nokia E68, which, was it E71? Yeah, E71. And it was like a BlackBerry. It was really nice for typing. It had really nice sloped keys and stuff, but the browsing experience on that was horrible. It wasn't a touchscreen phone, and you had to use the little control to get around, and it was a horrible, horrible phone to read anything on. And then I got an HTC Desire, and suddenly it's like, oh, this is a widescreen touchscreen phone that I can scroll up and down on. This browsing experience is a lot better. And now I have a Droid 4, and that is even better. And it continues to improve.
For those who have anything with an iOS, the new iOS
There's a new
6
YouTube app, right?
has a
There
new
is a YouTube app,
Like,
yeah.
Yes,
they
I heard
deleted the
about
old
that.
YouTube app and added a new one.
The
and
new
people
one
were
is
so pissed.
so good. It's got
People were
so
so
much
pissed, like,
functionality.
oh,
Made by YouTube. So.
It's
Yeah,
a legit
Google made it.
real thing. Like,
Yes.
people were mad
Yes.
because it's, you have to download new stuff, and there's,
Oh, no.
trust me, it's way better. It's
Yeah,
seriously.
way
YouTube.
better. Yeah.
If you make custom thumbnails though, the thumbnails get all like chopped up and weird.
Oh,
but
really?
That's okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
They look great to me. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, when I was looking, I haven't downloaded it onto my phone, but when I was looking at somebody else's phone, they take like a weird like landscaped,
Ha, okay.
like
Oh,
a really
That might
like
happen.
so
Yeah.
it's
I don't
things that are above and below where they crop.
Let's find out.
I don't really blame people for using mobile devices for watching YouTube videos. I think one of the best ways to look at YouTube is actually on an iPad. It's got a big enough screen, the quality is good, and browsing videos is really easy, incredibly easy. And also they have some really good recommended stuff that you always find the stuff that you're looking for. So, I don't know, the iOS app doesn't apparently work on iOS 6 on the iPad yet. You can use it, but it's still an iPhone app, so it blows up and the resolution's shit. But on an iPhone, that app is supposed to be great.
It works really well.
Yeah, and more people we're noticing it in our channels as well. More and more people watch gaming content on mobile devices.
Mm-hmm.
You ever think that the mobile devices are going to take over for views on YouTube compared to that of like PC?
I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a combination of watching YouTube on television and watching it on a phone. I think that it's going to erode the desktop market because now pretty much every TV you buy that's at least semi-modern has YouTube built into it. My TV in the bedroom has YouTube on it, and it's actually pretty good for watching YouTube videos. It works really well. It's fast. So I think that it's going to be more about YouTube's going to get integrated into different stuff around your home, and people won't have to sit at a computer to watch YouTube. They can sit on a couch and watch YouTube. So yeah,
YouTube is it's a strange beast. It's that line between TV and people talking about their lives is blurring very much. And
it's been
a lot
blurring
of
for
people,
years. Reality TV led us to this point.
and it's crazy. And I'm sure all of you get this when people say like, I don't watch TV, I watch your channel. And to me, that's mind blowing.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
like,
weird. I mean, I don't watch TV, but I watch Netflix. I still watch stuff that because
I watch all kinds of Netflix.
all the
well, of
time.
course, these guys are making stuff that's way better than anyone on YouTube can make. And yeah, okay, it's not specific. I think the thing about YouTube is you can find anything you want. If you want to find a series about one video game, you can find it. You can find many of them, in fact. And it's a sheer volume of niche interest stuff that television doesn't cater to. But I'm still going to watch Futurama, and I'm still going to watch Breaking Bad and all sorts of other good stuff because this is
Breaking Bad.
way better than anything anyone will ever make on YouTube.
The problem, though, and that's something that YouTube, luckily, because it's driven by us.
Want a fisherman's friend, TB?
Oh, no.
Because it's driven
Just
by us
die.
and our willingness to do stuff. Things that happen on YouTube, if we want to stop them, they'll stop. But if we want to keep going, we can keep it going till we beat it horse dead. Skyrim videos, and so I'm not saying doing 500 Skyrim videos is insane or anything, but it's been.
Well, I did find that we did a contest to find the longest Skyrim series. I believe it was episode 1130 was the longest
What?
one we found.
What?
What are you doing by that point? Like reading the credits? Like
The funny thing
geez.
is,
That's
none of
episode
it was
1000.
commentated. It was a 1,000 part Skyrim video with no commentary.
Dude, that's hardcore. If you're watching that, you're like, look, I would play the game, but I just rather watch
It's
the game.
insane.
But anyway, it's like that kind of, we can decide what happens with the content. When it comes to TV, because it's all ratings based and ad based, there's a lot of really good shows that get destroyed, especially now because people are only watching them online. And I mean, that's just life. It sucks.
How I Met Your Mother, I watched it online. I didn't have time to watch the season premiere.
Well,
You
it's the fault of the networks at the end of the day. They know that people are watching online, so provide a way to do it. You know, it's
And
one that makes sense.
You know, but there's a couple networks that do it. They put up like the episode, the next day for free online on their website. And
Yeah,
stuff.
but
Like
there's not
the
many of them
worst.
do.
yeah.
Not to
When
mention
they
it's
don't, I feel like they're just missing out
Yeah.
on so many viewers.
Yeah.
well, not
it's
to mention they restrict it to the US only as well. So that means that everyone else who's like, well, I know this episode's out because I have the internet and I'm not closed off from America anymore. I'm gonna
Guess
just
I'm
go and
pirating
torrent it
Lol,
then.
lol, lol. Mhm.
There's
Easy TV, man. Those guys put out the episode that night.
Yes.
So if
Yeah,
you're into
dude.
torrents, they're like, here, enjoy
Huh,
what you missed.
I
And
got
it's like,
you this.
An hour
It's-
later, it's
It's
up.
not even a
And-
case of competing with free. It's competing with better. You know,
Mhm.
I can get it quicker, faster, and of course free from a torrent site. So it makes it really hard to argue against that. You've got to provide a service that's that good. I'm really not sure
No,
why are we here, by the way? Why are we in this conversation? Because
we have gone off the rails.
we
haven't
have
we?
just a little. Yeah.
That's
It's as
what
close
most of
to,
this
another
podcast
article,
has been off.
We're
the
still
Yeah.
talking about
rails.
the internet, though. That's the thing. That
Yeah.
It's as close to another article.
and
though.
torrents, the kids are down with that.
Mm. All them rapscallions, they're big into the torrents.
Rapscallions. Quite. Yes.
If you're a company and you want to know what the internet's like, just look up torrent culture. That'll teach you all you need to know about the internet.
Torrent culture.
There needs to be like a study. Google needs to do a study. They need to focus their money not on that, but on like example, Fox. Why do you lock your shows for a week after they've been on the air, and no one can view them on your website?
I don't get
No
that.
wonder people are going to get torrents, you idiots.
Mhm.
So dumb.
Indeed. Well, this actually does move on quite nicely since we're talking about TV and cable networks. There's a Bloomberg article on the subject of, I believe it is essentially cloud gaming. But what is cloud gaming?
What is cloud gaming?
Ugh.
Yeah, apparently AT&T, Verizon, and Time Warner Cable are gearing up for a push to deliver video games directly to televisions. So it's pretty much cloud gaming directly to a TV to avoid the need for a console.
But isn't that
That's-
similar to what Remember how? Because you have to figure this will be a subscription service, right?
It's
Just
on
like
live.
everything else.
It's just on live.
Yeah,
Valve was doing the same thing recently, weren't they?
they were talking
Whole
about
thing,
it.
they're
They were
pushing
thinking
into the
about it.
TV.
Well, I mean, big picture mode is just something that allows you to navigate Steam easily on a TV and play games on a TV. Which, it's really designed for use with wireless HDMI, which is a thing now.
Mhm.
And you can just have your PC in the other room. You can wireless HDMI to your television. Yeah, it's ridiculously cool.
I
And
did not know that.
yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
Well,
And then you press one button to go to big picture mode, and you can do all of your Steam stuff on your television. Which is kind of awesome because I
That's
can't
pretty
fit a 65-inch TV on my desk. So, and it wouldn't be very healthy if I did. So that's cool. That is pretty cool. And
that saves like downstairs. I can keep my what I record. Why?
Go
It's all
buy
the
some
time
wireless
playing Valorant
HDMI stuff.
Borderlands the last couple of weeks. I just missed out. I've not left the cave, and now oh my god,
Yep. That's
I'm
the thing.
behind the times.
All these kids, man.
Getting
I
too
don't know, but
damn old
these-
for this.
these companies making the push. I feel like the video game companies have too many loyal fans that I don't think the transition would be too well.
Well, isn't
Like,
that what,
you really think like Microsoft, people who are like crazy into Xbox or Nintendo are gonna want to start purchasing their games or whatever on the TV?
From a television company?
No,
And
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
that
like
what
with
Xbox was
Warner.
doing? Xbox was like, we're going to create a $99 Xbox that is subscription based.
that
And
was
it's
like
only a
entirely
really
a hard
limited
drive.
thing. That's
Are
a
you
really
serious?
limited. There was a
But
trial.
they were considering it, yeah, like as a trial. So you have to figure more of that will be in the future. Like, I don't know why people see that as a thing. Like, what if we make them pay a subscription?
Oh.
Well, and I mean, with as much as people have been really upset about the possibility of needing to be online for all of their games, that's exactly what would need to happen, right? If it's all cloud gaming.
Yeah, you have to be. That also means
So-
the cable services have to be
We already deal
reliable
with
and
enough-
not screw
Yep.
up. So, well, how about we get that first? Because I'll tell you, I have Time Warner cable because it's the best that I can get in this area, and it is not uber reliable. Occasionally I get good speed from it, sometimes I don't, sometimes it disconnects. Yesterday it DC'd me on 8 separate occasions for no apparent reason. It just kept losing the DNS, don't even know why. You would
Yeah, I mean,
need to
we-
build
we have
reliability.
BIOS, and even we have issues sometimes. So
I honestly think it's going to take something like a revamp of the network in the United States in general, because there's a lot of places in the world that, even places that are technically like, I don't know what you call it, second world nations. They're not, but there's places, their internet, because it's brand new, because they
It's
had
better.
no infrastructure, is
it's so much
infinitely
better than ours.
Well,
so much better.
Why do you think, the guy who uploads my videos lives in Romania? He has
Yeah.
legit internet. It's better than mine.
Yeah.
So I just Dropbox overnight to him, and then he can upload much quicker. But it's...
So jelly.
Yeah, I'm particularly jelly. This article goes on to say that they're setting this up in South Korea. This makes sense in South Korea. One, not a very big country. Two, really modernized in terms of its internet connection. Incredible internet connection. So it makes absolute sense to that. And apparently there's already a service available for $8 a month, which has Activision Blizzard titles and a few other things on it. So
Doesn't Singapore have something similar?
Singapore, yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. And that's why I think this Google thing, like, even though Google's eventually going to run this country and be a sentient beast that controls us all, they're 1,000 up, 1,000 down test they're starting in Kansas City. That has the potential to change some stuff, and that's amazing.
Possibly.
So support that, even though, like I said, they will end up controlling your mind.
Yeah.
Just support that. Give us that before the mind control.
Indeed. Oh, I'd like to give good news, by the way. The King of the Web prize has gone through. It is now on the campaign page. You can go check it out right now at mycharitywater.org/TotalBiscuit, and you can see how much we've raised, which is $51,587, ladies and gentlemen.
That is awesome.
Fantastic.
It's pretty dope.
That is very cool.
So, anyone that said I was going to run away with the money, there you go.
Take it.
It's like, I'm willing to sacrifice $48,000 just to prove you wrong, so fuck you. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's pretty cool.
Exactly like you. Some of you do just to prove the internet
Yeah,
wrong.
I would.
Look,
I
I'm just gonna
would.
give away
I
40,000.
would. I would do that. You know me too well. But yeah, it's great. It's awesome that that's happened, and thank you to everyone that supported the campaign, even though it was pretty much a whitewash. I don't care
no.
because we got money.
Some guy beat you 2 days. I don't know who that was.
Who was it?
Even though you didn't run those days, I heard some guy won 2 days.
Yeah, pretty
2 days
much.
he didn't win.
Yes, but thank you to all of those who supported, and fuck you to the doubters. Well, there you go.
Well,
Anyway, yes, cloud gaming. Let's go back on the subject of that before we talk about releases. So, what is cloud gaming? That I've used on live quite a bit, and it's just I think it seems like cloud gaming on a television makes a hell of a lot more sense, at least in the future. It doesn't really make a lot of sense now. Because it's easy enough to get a console. It's not that expensive. Not to mention, you can pick up an awful lot of games either secondhand or much cheaper, unless you're buying new on the day of release. Games start at $60. You can more often than not get them below 10. I mean, there's a shop called the Game Station. Well, it's actually called Game Station, not the Game Station. there was some weird drama where people thought that I worked for these guys, fucking idiots. But yeah, GameStation is owned by Game Corporation in the UK and is one of the 2 major video game specialist retailers, or was. I think it's getting closed down now because they all went bankrupt. But that place had a huge section for console games that cost £5. So it's like, this is the £5 section, and there's some good stuff in there. Yeah. Kind of basically a bargain bin. It was an entire wall of it. You can console game cheap, so I have to ask. The market that they're shooting for is people with modern televisions. So, like, obviously, you can't cloud game on TVs right now. That's not available. So, we're looking at modern TVs, unless, of course, you use the little micro console thing. And then you're looking at people that have really good internet connections that are interested in core gaming. That does narrow the market down a little bit. So I'm not entirely convinced by the idea. I don't. It's not that the technology isn't there yet. I think on live works okay for some games. Like, it's terrible for fighting games. I tried playing Street Fighter 4 on live and it was comically bad. But other games like strategy games and even single player first person shooters, like I played Deus Ex Human Revolution on it. It was okay. It was all right. But even then, the technology isn't really there, and I have a feeling that we're not going to be seeing this rolled out in a major way across the US or the UK for a very long time.
Yeah.
Does it worry anyone else that more and more we don't actually own any of these games?
We don't now on
the
Steam,
license.
though.
No, I'm saying, but
Steam,
more and more,
it?
like Steam is that. I'm not sure if people. I assume people realize this, but spoiler: you don't own any of your Steam games, and at any point, much like they did with Dragon Age 2. They can take that shit away and you'll never get it back. And that's just because you're borrowing the license. You paid $5, $50, whatever, how many dollars to borrow the game from them. You don't own that. And it's more and more that's happening where you technically don't own what you own.
I mean, technically you've never owned it. That's the thing with the whole way that the licenses work. And
when you owned a physical CD, you own that. Like, the more we get to you can download stuff, if at some point in the future, like Blizzard's like, go to our site and download games. If at some point in the future they just said, F it, we're not going to offer that anymore to download, you'd have to find it by very illegal means.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure people would find it.
But that's
you're not suggesting, Rodri, that people will go out of their way to acquire.
I'm not suggesting people do that.
No, you wouldn't suggest that someone would do that. That's insane.
No, not at all.
Why would someone do that? Just go on the internet and take things?
But like someone just said, it's the same thing with iTunes, things like that, where it's, hey,
I thought about that before.
that's why I don't buy anything from iTunes. But it's this exact same idea
iTunes
that
is
if you buy
expensive.
stuff from there,
Christ.
your code, like all the information, like if you ever lose your, I used to have an old, like when I had just an iPod, I had an account, forgot what it was, lost everything that I had on there. If you don't like, that's the way it works now. Which
I lost a bunch of stuff on Amazon MP3 as well. Actually, the same thing happened. I suppose I should chastise myself for not being able to, for not backing it up, but still.
If you think like, Verizon, all these companies are being like, we're going to offer you services and we want you to, it's streaming and you can play games and we'll like, you can stream this stuff, more and more you own less and less, which is a weird trend. But from a business side, it's genius. Because if you want to play that again, more money, please.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's worrisome. It's
concerning.
I mean, that stuff's been happening with phones ever since they started allowing you to download ringtones.
God. I mean, it's not even just that. I mean, you have to, on this bloody thing, you have to pay.
Well, with like newer phones, it's
even worse. Like, you have to pay to tether your phone and use it as a wireless hotspot, even though you have a data plan already. It's like, why? It's a function of the phone that you deliberately removed from the phone. And if you make your way around that, you can actually lose your plan. They will just remove you from the service. It's insanity.
Yeah. That's like the one reason that people jailbreak their phones that makes me go, I get it. I understand why you did that.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, this is a great phone, don't get me wrong, but I bought my HTC Desire Z and I paid for just a SIM-less phone. And I can do anything with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I'm a bit worried by it. I mean, if you remember, Sony bought a company called Gaikai, and that's a cloud gaming service. So Sony, the traditional, we're going to sell you games on disc or digitally, also bought a cloud gaming service.
Yep.
Now, here's the question. Do you try and run them in parallel? Do you provide it as an alternative? Or do you try and replace everything with it? Because I'm going to be honest, R&D for a new console is bloody expensive. So if you were just to run all of these things on cloud servers and never have to R&D another machine ever again, and then just reap the rewards from that of games that people don't own, would you do that as a company? Because I think there's a strong argument to suggest that people might.
I want it to happen very, very badly, if only for the backlash. I want companies to pull an Arrow 37 where it's like, come on, play our games. You have to be online to play it, though.
Arrow 37,
and then it doesn't work. And then the backlash is through the...
Huge.
Like, Blizzard right now, when Mr. Pandaria went live, everyone was in chat rooms and stuff going like, get ready for Arrow 37. That's a Blizzard thing now.
Yeah.
Like, they cannot escape that. So I want it to happen just to see people freak out so it never happens again. Because I think I know what their intention is. Like, we're going to provide games to people who aren't going to get consoles. They can play it online, on their TV without having a computer, and they can have good graphics and stuff. I get what they're going for.
Yeah.
But it's still a horrible idea. It's still a bad idea. And I want
I don't think the market's there for it. I don't think it's there yet. Maybe in a couple years. But for now, I don't know. I don't think it would make them a lot of money. Because so many people are just so into consoles and PC gaming right now.
Well, not to mention that the technology isn't there yet. I mean, they're still gaming on really bad internet connections. So
exactly.
I can put something in my machine and it will work very, very well, and it will work with zero latency. Or I can cloud game it. There's also certain genres that just aren't going to work on cloud gaming, period. Fighting games are terrible on cloud gaming. Absolutely abysmal. Precision platformers. Think about that. Precision platformers where you've got to move at exactly the right time. Dark Souls on cloud gaming
would be.
Oh God, that would be the worst.
That would be the most horrific thing anyone has ever created. That would be a true monster.
Chat is on the money today. They're basically this guy actually said something really, really great. He said basically means you can't pass anything on to your kids. That's kind of like if you're a business, that's how you want it. Like a lot of people go like furniture, for example.
You don't want hand-me-downs.
Yeah, like. Furniture is a really good example where it's old furniture is made so well. Like if you go to a yard sale, the stuff you find is like hard wood and stuff. Now most furniture made is particle board. It can break easier. Yeah. And the reason why is they want it that way. So your shit breaks. So you have to buy more. So you can't hand it down to your kids. Stuff like that. Same thing with gaming. You notice a weird trend that most consoles now lack backwards compatibility for things.
Yeah.
And it keeps getting worse and worse. And the reason why is, hey, you can't play it on your CD, but we might offer it to you for another $6.99 on our download service. But once you switch consoles again, you have to buy it again. Like, it's all about nickel and diming you until you are just broke as shit.
Yeah.
And as a business, they're like, this is the best idea ever. As a consumer, you should be like flipping tables.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest arguments against cloud gaming, but it's also one of the biggest arguments against Steam as well. Bear that in mind. Technically, you can't hand your Steam account down. You shouldn't be sharing it with anyone. It's yours. It's licensed to you. You can never transfer those games to anybody else. And this also is the case with 360 Arcade and PlayStation Network and the new Wii Network and DSi Shop and things like that. Nintendo Shop. That's all there. And you can't pass it on to anybody. So it's not like we're getting there. We're already there. And it's only going to get worse from this position, I think. And the problem is that if you want convenience, if you want the ability to download a game as soon as it comes out and play it and buy it for a reasonable price, this may be a sacrifice you have to make. People aren't scared away from Steam because of this. Steam has tons of users. And why? Steam is cheap. Steam is convenient. At least it's cheap on sales anyway. It's expensive otherwise, but Steam updates all your games. Steam lets you know when there's new content available. Steam has sales. It's not
extremely intrusive either.
No, and all of your games are in one place. And most of the time Steam works.
Well organized.
Yes, exactly. So gamers have already taken that step towards not owning their stuff. And I think they may have gone too far down the rabbit hole to ever actually climb back out again.
I think it's along the lines of like all the different like internet acts that were, remember like a year ago when that was like, holy shit, the internet's going to come to an end. whenever
That shit's still happening, by the way, so watch out.
it is still happening, but
Still coming.
because it's not an imminent threat, like it exists. Its laws are being written and proposed. It exists because it's not imminent. The internet doesn't react. And I think that's the same thing with Steam. Steam is like, we're gonna be real quiet about what we're doing here.
Steam's
just go
pretty
about
good
our
right
business.
now, you know?
Yeah,
And it's got cheap
everyone's
games.
cool with
And
it.
everyone loves
The minute
Gaben.
something
Gaben
happens,
replies to his
though-
emails in the morning. Gaben is a lovable Father Christmas figure.
The
And
minute something crazy happens, the internet will lose it. And it's just there's always a moment of we're cool, but it's because frankly we don't care because we got better stuff to do. And then something will happen that threatens what we like, then it's on.
Then we'll all be like,
The problem I have is by that time, I have a feeling it'll just be too late. Like they'll just be like, fine, enjoy not having your games. Flip a switch.
Pretty much. And
Ouch.
yeah, I don't know if
ice
it's...
cold.
I don't even know if it's
Oh,
worth worrying
what's
that much about, because one way or the other, we're still talking about our video game collections. This is not that important. You know, it's not like they can just take my car away or my house. It's a case of,
Some of us, this is our job as TV.
I know that! Come on! But that also means that we're looking at it from a really skewed perspective. Our
Clearly.
entire lives rely on video games. You know,
But-
everyone on this podcast makes money through video games. So what about the people that don't, and just video games are an interesting diversion in their lives? Are they really that worried about the possibility at some point that you may not be able to pass on your Steam collection to your kid? Is that really concerning, or do you just buy new video games at that point? And then play everything else on the emulator?
Would they even want to play that by then? You know, in all honesty.
I don't know. I mean, my kid plays Mario, and he's totally happy with it. In fact, I think it's a rite of passage. You got to play Mario games. Don't
No,
play...
without
play
it.
Mario,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
You can pass those down, you know. So wait, you couldn't pass down the ones on your DS that you downloaded?
Not
No.
the download. Like, this is the
Really?
interesting that we bring that up
That's
now.
the problem.
Well, it's interesting that we
I'm
bring
just
this up
saying,
now because
you're
New Super Mario Brothers 2 is the first downloadable game that Nintendo's ever done, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Wow.
It's starting even for Nintendo. You can't
The
pass
PSP
that down.
Go too. The PSP Go, isn't it like fully downloadable content?
Well, that's why
Someone
nobody bought the bloody thing. Right?
Yeah.
The Vita has the Vita Voita, whatever the hell it's called, has those tiny little cards that I always lose. It's like I have a pocket full of games. Like there's like $400 worth of games in my pocket, and they're very easy to lose. That's tiny little things. I hate them, but they still use physical media. We're still in an era where we have access to physical media, and if we want physical media, we can get it. What happens when we can't get physical media anymore?
The internet.
That's the problem. Although, it's I don't. Man.
Do we even want physical media?
Dark
Because
times for the Republic.
haven't we for the longest time being saying we just want all our stuff on digital? I don't want to go to a store and buy a CD that might get scratched up.
Oh, the convenience is definitely there.
Yeah,
Don't
I
get
mean
me
that's
wrong.
the
I'm into
trade-off.
that.
It's the same thing. It's a trade-off with all things that happen like that. You trade one thing for another, and at some point people will be like, "Well, I'm not gonna. This is too far." But for now, people are cool. They're like, "Yeah, all right, I get it." But I'm saying the trend is down the line. This could get problematic, maybe.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah, I've got someone saying, well, you say you can't pass down New Super Mario Bros. 2, but it's not bound to an account, it's bound to the 3DS, you can pass that down. What happens when the 3DS breaks?
You can't.
These things are not built like Game Boys anymore. They can't survive bomb blasts in Iraq. Those things are going to die. They'll probably only last a few years before they burn out. And then what happens to your New Super Mario Bros. 2?
You gotta rebuy it.
Pretty much. For the
That's
most
why you
part.
don't buy it downloadable. That's why you get the little cartridge.
There's no benefit. It's like, come on, I can get New Super Mario Bros. 2 from anywhere. I can get it from a gas station. I'm not going to spend $40 for a digital copy.
Exactly.
It's just not going to happen. But it's a thorny subject. It's a really thorny subject, and it bears more discussion. But I don't want to continue doing it because I think we've probably burnt out what we can say about it at the moment. But it's worth keeping an eye on, folks. Just remember that there is EU legislation that supposedly protects you from this stuff, but there certainly isn't in the US and in many other countries. So do be a little bit cautious with your games purchasing. And if you can get it DRM free, you should get it DRM free, because then you don't have these problems. So GOG.com.
GOG.com.
I've started buying now that GOG.com's doing indies, I've started getting, if I need to buy an indie, I always buy it from GOG because it is DRM free.
They
Sounds
give
like
you the
they're-
files for it's digital, but you have every file you need
Yep.
to ever install it again.
Exactly.
So.
It's like,
And
oh, but
they're
the patching. It's like,
making it so
it
that
takes
you can,
2 seconds to patch a game. I'm not worried about that.
they're making it so that you can download them for Mac too.
Yes,
Sounds like.
yes, indeed.
Which
It's
is
interesting.
good because I know a lot of people who use exclusively Macs, and I've been like, you should go to GOG, and they're like, oh, nope. And I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
I led you astray.
Yeah. So someone did make a point that the CD would not survive a bomb blast in Iraq either, but that's why we need to bring cartridges back, man. We need full-on cartridges again.
Cartridges.
Those things
Can
could
you
survive being
imagine?
run over by a truck.
Can you imagine what we could put in a cartridge now? Because cartridges were huge.
Oh yeah.
You
Dude.
could have file size. Oh,
We need to get
bring it
big
back.
again. We need to get big
Bring
again.
back
Well,
the
think about it.
cartridges.
The size of a N64 cartridge. How much data could we fit in there now? That'd be great.
Telling ya.
Just like strap
The NES
32
ones,
SD
dude,
cards
they were
together.
Huge.
Oh yes.
And then they had always
Really?
the art on
Yeah.
the thing, so you knew what you were playing. It wasn't just some crappy CD. Man,
Those were the days.
Now I miss cartridges.
Yeah,
This is
Yeah,
where this
me
podcast
too.
has gone. This is
Yeah,
where
we
it's
miss
gone.
cartridges, but then like you're playing your DS, and then some crazy Mario game comes out, it's released, it's $1. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, just on the DRM free front, by the way, Assault on Dark Athena is $15 on GOG, and it's DRM free, so it doesn't have that fucking
wow.
Tegas shit. So
there you go.
by all means, ladies and gentlemen, go and check it out on there. It's cheaper, it's better, and it rocks.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, there's reason enough to get it just because it doesn't have that. All right, let's do releases of games that you do not own and never will.
Yay!
Awesome.
Okay, so what is coming out? Well, it's already Wednesday, so there's no point about talking about what came out this week. So let's talk about what's coming out next week. October 2nd, Resident Evil 6 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox. The PC version has been delayed. No one is surprised by this at all. It's a Capcom
Boo.
game. Haven't...
Oh.
I never had much of an interest in Resident Evil, honestly, and Resident Evil 6 is no exception.
I haven't had any interest in Resident Evil 6, but
I played the other ones, and they're pretty
yeah, I used to like them.
I like my favorites were probably Code Veronica and Resident Evil 4. There's no
good.
question.
I like the
about
ones that you can play.
4 was
co-op.
good.
Co-op are fun.
Oh, the Survivor ones.
yes.
Those are supposed to be
Those are
all right. Like they're different, certainly,
Mhm.
but don't play Raccoon City because apparently it's terrible. So I'm
Oh my
told.
god, it's so
I've
bad.
heard that.
I
Why
read
is
an
it bad
article-
anyway? You've played it, so why is it terrible?
It has you. It doesn't. I'm trying to think of how to explain this in a way where it really gets across how frustrating it is. Like while you're playing it, things will happen, like instances will happen within the game, and you have no idea what to do. Like
Okay.
it's almost like they throw you into a QTE, but you don't know what button you're supposed to press or
Wow.
where you're supposed to
Nice.
go. You're just like, ha ha. And that's
They
like
just
at
get
the very
murdered?
beginning
Yeah.
of the game. You're just
Oh,
so
God.
You're
confused.
dead, and you're.
Is
done.
it like that? What's that game? The Space Ace and the Dragon one.
Oh, Dragon's Lair.
Dragon Slayer, where it
Yeah.
was like it
Oh,
was old school
jeez.
game where basically you had to figure out what to do.
It was trial and error.
but it didn't tell you, so it was all trial and error. Is
Yeah.
that kind of what it is?
Yeah, and not in like the fun way, like with WarioWare. We're not so
Oh.
lucky. It's just
That's what we need. We need a Resident Evil version of WarioWare. We need that right
Done.
now.
I would.
Oh
play that.
yes. That sounds
All
amazing.
over that.
I was reading an article this week that was talking about Resident Evil 6 and how the series is sort of like their new attempts are getting clunky, and then it linked to another article called "Why the Resident Evil movies are better than the games."
Ho ho ho!
Oh,
Please
That's
look this
harsh.
up. Take your
What?
time and look this up. It's it has to be written by some dude who worked on the movies because I
Wow.
can't even fathom. It's amazing.
That's-
Take the time this week and look
Witness.
that up.
That's bonkers. That is bonkers.
It's amazing.
Like, don't get me wrong, I see every Resident Evil movie because I just like sitting there for 2 hours watching stupid crap, but still, they're terrible. No
They're very
question.
bad.
Yeah.
My god. But Resident Evil 6 is coming out on October 2nd, folks, and shall be waiting for the PC version if it ever arrives. And hopefully it'll be better than Resident Evil 4 on PC was. Oh god, Resident Evil 5 wasn't too good either. That was grim. That was
I've
grim.
not played one since 4 because of 4.
4 on PC was so bad. God. And what else coming out? Carrier Command. We talked about this last week. It's actually been pushed to October 2nd. I think I'm getting code of this, so that should be something I'll be able to show people over the next few weeks. War of the Roses on PC. It's already out pre-release for those who pre-ordered, like, special edition. October 2nd is when it's coming out on PC. How much are they pricing this bloody thing at? Let me check Steam, because they keep changing their mind on this, because it is a multiplayer-only game. It is $30, or your regional equivalent. And if you own Mount & Blade, any Mount & Blade title, you get 20% off, which is quite good.
Good deal.
Yep. That is a good deal indeed. So you can check out War of the Roses. If you pre-order it right now, you get the exclusive House of Lancaster edition, which comes with a thing to put on the top of your helmet. Incidentally, that game has a honey badger charge to go on the top of your helmet.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
Zero bothers given.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, actually, that's what the Royal Honey Badger helmet crest you get with the digital deluxe edition. Which also comes with the official soundtrack, which is quite good, actually. It's a good soundtrack. And a bunch of other cosmetic items. Like, that game has a lot of customization. I have a shield with a blue fish on it, and it's like the red, white, and blue, but it's got the blue fish and heraldry, and I think I've got a cow on my helmet. It's great.
Oh.
And my dagger is shaped like a penis.
That's awesome.
And apparently that was a thing.
DOA 5 has a stripper bunny costume.
Good God.
So,
They're just not
all
even
the
trying
games
to
are
hide
like
it
that.
anymore, are they?
No, not at all.
No.
I mean, ever since Extreme Beach Volleyball came out, they really haven't had to.
No, I guess not.
There are booty bump mini games in that.
Yes, there are.
Why are you making me want to
Well,
play
there's an
this?
entire photo mode in that
Because
where
it's a
all
great
you do is just take creepy photos of the characters in the games. What the fuck is this here for?
That's lovely.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Gaming industry.
Yes, one loves that. We do love Team Ninja, do we not?
Water boobs.
Yep,
So
water
good.
boobs, indeed.
But-
But
Someone make a gif of that, please.
DOA 5... There we go, that's been provided.
Coming.
DOA 5 is already out, right? It is
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Yep.
man.
Yep, so you can pick that up in stores right now for 360 and PlayStation 3.
You could be playing it.
Yeah,
right
shame
now.
it's not on Vita, otherwise I'd actually play it on that. That's a good system for that, but we shall see. What else is coming out? We have, the NBA 2K13. That is coming out on everything. That's coming out on PSP, apparently.
What?
According to this, it's coming on PSP. Okay, wow. All right, then.
Vita.
It doesn't say Vita here, it says PSP. Maybe it means Vita, but
Are they still making games for the PSP?
apparently.
I don't know.
Let
I
us
have one,
find
but I
out.
haven't
Let us
played
go
it.
on an adventure.
I wish
haven't
the
touched
developer.
that in forever.
That-
I wish the developer just got really confused. It's like making for the PSP. Like, sir, I don't think PSP.
PSP.
They are the last game to come out for PSP, according to Metacritic, was in July. They released Wizorb, which is a PC game, and also there's a Growlancer game as well, which there's about 5,000 Growlancer games. And there was a M-rated RPG of some sort. Oh, a samurai romance game called Hakuki, Demon of the Fleeting Blossom.
That sounds so great.
Yes.
Apparently, it's
I
very,
love-
very good indeed. It was also out on PSP. But yes, I don't think...
What
I
is
guess
that
they
game
must...
called?
Hakuki. Akuki. I
I
don't know.
love story.
Demon of the Fleeting Blossom.
Hakuki.
Yeah.
Demon.
No, NBA 2K... Yo, it's right. It is coming out on PSP. Coming soon. NBA
Wow.
2K13. It is coming out on PSP. Also, Ragnarok Tactics is as well. There are games still being made for the PSP. I guess that's because
Wow.
nobody bought the Vita.
Probably
Yeah.
not.
They're like,
I thought the Vita was
somebody
supposed to be a
will
lot
buy
better too.
It is, but nobody bought it anyway. The main problem is because it doesn't have any good games on it. Well, it does, but they're all console games that you already own, so that's a bit of a problem. What else is coming out? We have for you on October the 3rd, hell yeah, Wrath of the Dead Rabbit. Oh yes.
Isn't that one of the trailers that we're
I have a
coming out?
trailer. You want to see this? Yeah.
Yes.
Trailer for hell yeah, Wrath of the Dead Rabbit coming in your face right about now.
Yeah. Trademark Jessica X.
Peggy 16. Sega.
The prince of hell, pictured in a bath, doing something that he shouldn't do. And now they're gonna pay. They took his privacy away. The rabbit is coming, everybody start running.
Someone explain to me what the hell just happened?
I have no
The
idea.
fuck is
A
that?
dead rabbit was shooting mutant animals. I don't really know what that was.
Things in hell, I assume.
How exactly did this rabbit die? That's what I was wondering.
Why
throughout the
are
whole
they
trailer.
saying, is he a Prince of Hell, or does he slaying?
You know
Prince
what?
of
He
Hell?
is the
probably
Prince of Hell.
deserved to die after
He is
all
the
stuff
disgraced
he's
Prince of
doing.
Hell. So I can tell you.
He is the Prince of Hell? Okay,
So I
tell
got
us.
review
Tell us
code
the
for this
story.
today, and I dipped into it for about 10 minutes. And the intro sequence is all done in that style, and it explains that the Prince of Hell was discovered playing with rubber duckies and was, as such, ousted from his former role by the paparazzi. He is now on a killing spree throughout Hell, and for some inexplicable reason, he rolls around on this giant wheel of spiky death, which just slices everything to pieces. I have no idea what to make of that game at all. But I can tell you, that's the most metal trailer I've seen since Awesome Nuts.
What exactly is the game, though? That
it
I don't.
like-
It's a
I have no
platformer.
impression of what the
It's
game is.
Gonna be like running around shooting people?
Yeah,
or-
it's a Gunstar Heroes kind of Contra-style platformer.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
You say Contra, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, that's
Sold. Done.
Dead bunny
That-
version.
Yeah,
Take it.
Dead Bunny Bird. It's like Jazz Jackrabbit crossed with Disgaea, from what I can tell. It looks ridiculously insane. It's just nuts. I can also tell people that it works fine with keyboard, and they're very nice about it as well. They stay at the start of the game. Well, this game plays pretty good on pad, but it also plays good on keyboard. And you can change the keys if you want, you horrendous heathen bastard. And that's pretty much what it says at the start. You press space to go, and it's like, okay then, I can deal with this. So,
Nice.
I don't know what to make of it yet, but all I know is I want to play more of it.
Awesome.
Hell yeah, Wrath of the Dead Rabbit coming to PC on the 3rd. In both EU and
Nice.
US.
Curious to know if that's fun.
Indeed. And probably the only other really big release to talk about is Pokemon White. October 7th. Pokemon White version
Oh,
2.
yes.
Yeah, isn't there
Yeah.
White and Black too?
Yeah,
Black-
White and Black
Black
2.
2.
Now, Rodri,
I
you
guess
are
it's the
our
same-
resident expert
Yes.
on
I do know
Nintendo.
a good amount about this because I've done a couple, but I mean, I actually haven't played Black and White 1. I actually haven't played it, but I've played the other ones. I know that it's similar to Black and White. It's still the Unova region, but I know that it's actually 2 different characters this time, and it takes place like a couple years after. Like I've actually been wondering a couple of questions myself. Like, I mean, I don't really know what all the changes are about, but you know, I think it's they're gonna be making some good
Making
cash off this
bank.
game.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Are
Is-
you a Pokemon lore nerd?
I do know a lot of Pokemon lore. What about though?
I love you even more now. No, we're good. We're good. Us
Okay, I
lore
thought we
nerds
were gonna
have
go
to
into
stick
some
together.
theories like that.
Oh,
one
please no. No.
creepypasta.
We're
Yeah.
good. We're good.
Don't get
Continue
Jesse
being a lore
started on
nerd.
this.
You got to be a lore nerd for something in your life. I can accept
Exactly.
Pokemon.
Yes.
So,
yes.
this is still a DS game, I've noticed. This is not 3DS.
Not the DS. I don't know why they're
Oh,
not pushing
really?
it.
Even
I
so-
guessed
But
it.
I think it's because it's 2D, right? They don't have a whole lot to work with.
They don't
They'd be
care.
pushing out buildings and
They don't give a
yeah.
damn
I
about
mean,
that.
They
That's-
just recycled a whole new region and a whole new set of Pokemon and wrapped it into another game. So
It's interesting to see the logic behind it because you'd think that Nintendo would want to push that platform, and yet you've also got to think of, but if I make it on 3DS, all these people don't have 3DS, I'm going to sell less copies of the game. So which do you prioritize? Do you try to push the platform, or do you say, okay, fine, you can have it on DS, you can still play it on 3DS anyway, and we just want to sell as many games
I
as
don't know.
possible?
Considering the way Nintendo like shows Pokemon, like even the anime, like it really is about the money, is what it seems like to me. So they'd rather, you know, instead of quality, they're gonna get how many people, you know, buy it. So
Do we have a trailer for this?
Pokemon? No. Plus, if I...
Oh, wait.
if-
So what are we
we're not talking about... This is not the
It's a
trailer
new
section.
release.
This is
Oh,
new
a new
releases.
release. I
I
thought
just
it was a
happen to
release.
have one
Yes.
for Hell
Oh,
Yeah. I've got
alright.
2
I
other
was so excited.
trailers,
I was like,
but they're not coming out yet.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new release. There's actually one other thing I want to talk about. It's not on the release list, but I would like to say whoopity-doo on the subject of Mark of the Ninja is coming to Steam on the 17th of October. Clay is making a PC version. That makes me super excited. These are the guys that made Shank and Shank 2, and Mark of the Ninja is excellent. What the hell are you doing?
Just trying to catch a fly.
There's
It
a-
looks like.
I'm sorry. There's suddenly 2 flies in my room.
Oh.
I'm trying to like.
I thought you were
like a cat.
worshipping some pagan deity, but please
she's a
continue.
cat. She's an uncontrollable
Pagan
that's-
deity worshipping fiend, yes.
That's ADD there, folks. That's the face of
just-
ADHD.
Oh my gosh. If I could just.
My point exactly.
No, it's gone.
Oh well, never mind.
My
Yes,
point
but
exactly.
it's coming, and that's good news because Mark of the Ninja sadly has not sold that well on Xbox, which is a crying shame because it is a great stealth game and it is easily the best game that Clay's ever made. So I'm looking forward to playing it on PC when it comes out, and you should all consider buying it if you are even slightly interested in stealth games because we haven't had all that many of them lately. Not at
Metal
all.
Gear.
Metal Gear. Isn't the latest Metal Gear more of an action game? Like, what did they were calling it? Like, Revengeing or whatever the stupid name was?
What's the name of it?
Revengeing.
It's not even
Revengeing.
Snake. It's that one guy.
Revengeance. Oh, it's Raiden, isn't it?
Yes. I actually saw it at PAX. It looked pretty cool. Like, I
Revengeance.
saw people just like
Why are we
running
bringing back
like
Raiden?
cops and just taking down people.
I assume that people thought that everyone loved Raiden, which I'm pretty sure they didn't.
Wasn't that a non-thing?
That's coming to PC, by the way.
Metal Gear
According to this,
Rising,
anyway. This is,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the release date, according to this, is December 31st, 2013, whereas Revengeance is coming out on September. Wow. September,
My
ladies and
favorite
gentlemen.
month.
It's indeed.
September.
No. God damn it. Anyway,
That's
yeah.
gonna be a new holiday, a TGS holiday. Coming this
September.
September.
Oh yes.
God,
It's
no.
done.
Yes.
TGS holiday. Yeah, making
Done.
this happen.
On TGS,
Oh
every
my
day
God!
is
Yes,
September.
September is the month where we talk about only dead or alive beach volleyball. And
Oh, no.
yes.
Can that
Oh,
be the
no.
same month that you have your cocktail party?
My cocktail party. If you're following Twitter today, I was talking with Simon about how he gets invited to cocktail parties, and I wanted to have the cocktail party.
Oh, God.
So it could be a thing.
We have so many things that could happen in September.
That could. Not sure they will, but could. Cocktail parties. Make it happen.
We have so much time to prepare. That's wonderful. Apparently, by the way, it's not pronounced
I'll do a lot of
Raiden.
research.
It's pronounced Reiden. Reiden.
Raiden.
Reiden.
It's
Yep.
Raiden. Raiden.
People are
Like
saying
Mortal
apparently
Kombat.
only the Mortal
I was gonna
Kombat one is
say,
pronounced
it's a Mortal
Raiden.
Kombat
Raiden.
character.
Yeah.
He's the same guy.
That would
Or-
make
or
it a better
Raiden.
character.
It
Is
could
if
be
Raiden
Raiden.
from Mortal Kombat was in Metal Gear?
Just
Holy
knock it out
shit.
Yeah.
with lightning.
That'd be
Oh, man.
amazing.
That'd be sick.
Done. It's my new headcanon. It's real.
It exists now.
No, it's
Raiden?
no. This
Raiden?
Raiden.
this guy is doing a
Reiden.
really bad job of explaining this pronunciation. Fuck it, I don't care.
Raiden?
Raiden.
Screw it.
I like how we're sitting here
Raiden.
trying to figure out the name of a character.
Right,
no
I
one
assume
gives
it's
a shit about.
Raiden. Raiden. Yeah, it's like
But they
nobody
made
cared
a
about
full
him
game
anyway.
for
Why are we
him,
bringing him
you
back?
know? Made a full
no.
game for him.
But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for releases. Let's do a couple more trailers before the break, and then we'll do host topics, and then we maybe have time for one host topic, and then we'll do the plugging of the people on the game station, then the plugging of the people on this podcast. All right, let's do the trailers then. So, Loadout. This is a game that I have a very, very early preview of on my channel. This was literally the first impression of it, and I'll probably be more in-depth later on. It is a game about customizing weapons and generally looking awesome while doing it. So, let's take a look.
Okay.
And there you go. Nice and simple and to the point.
Right up my alley.
I like it. It looked fun.
Yeah.
It looked a lot like Team Fortress 2.
I was about to
actually.
say a little TF2 in there.
It
Oh,
looks
yeah,
like
I
TF2,
like
but
that.
it's otherwise nothing like it. Like, there's no classes, nothing like that. It's just, but it's also gorier than TF2. I mean, TF2 is actually quite a gory game to begin with, but you can, when you take damage in this game, chunks get blown off you sometimes. So,
Oh, yeah.
you remember how the damage was done in Wolverine Unleashed? Yeah, it's like that.
Yes.
Apparently, there's also nudity in the game. There is an option to turn nudity off, but all the characters I've seen so far are male and look very much like the guy. What's the name of that actor from Machete? What's his name?
Oh,
God.
yes.
I
Oh, what's his
love him.
name?
What
I
is
just
his
saw him
name?
on Breaking Bad. Oh, that dude.
That dude. Yeah.
That
Danny
dude.
Trejo. Yes.
Yeah,
Every
that's what it
character
is,
looks like
Trejo,
Danny
yes.
Trejo, which reduces my
Who is
desire
that
for a
at the
nude mode
same time?
significantly. But
He is the guy famous for the Mexican line
yes,
from Once Upon a Time Mexico.
It's true.
That is
he is quite the person. But yeah, it's fun. The biggest problem with that game, aside from there's some weird decisions, like the health bar is in the top left, and then when you're playing in objective mode, there's these things which look suspiciously like health bars in the bottom left, which you would usually assume your health bar's down there, right? No, it's not. It's up in the corner out of the way. It's like, I was really confused. Like, why is my health bar not going down? Oh, that's a capture bar that looks exactly like a health bar. So they need to change that. The biggest problem they're going to have with that game is balancing everything, because the weapon customization is nuts. It is beyond... It's like if you had an editor for what Borderlands provides. It's like that, but you could build everything, and it's even more in-depth, I think, than Borderlands is.
God, that's the sort of stuff that
That
I
would be a
don't
lot of
fun.
enjoy in games at all.
So it's like
Customization?
yeah. So the
It's nuts.
customization is
Weapon customization and ship customization, I'm not into that at all.
Oh.
I love that. That's
I know you do.
I'm big into that in a huge way. It's the reason why I've never got past turn 5 on Galactic Civilization 2, because I spend too much time customizing the look of my ship, and then get bored of the game and leave. So it's like, nothing's getting done here.
so it's like everyone has the same character, same class per se, but the weapon you use defines
Pretty much
what you
unique
do.
to you. Yeah, you can have 2 weapons. I randomed up some weapons in the video on my channel, which you can go and check out if you so desire. And I randomed up a healing, I think it was a healing rocket launcher. And there's some really weird combinations. You can make stuff which is completely unfunctional, that there's no way in a million years you would use. Like a widespread launcher, sniper, rocket, shotgun that fires bullets which buff up other people. It's just...
That sounds lovely.
Perfect.
Let's put that in
It's beyond silly. The rocket launchers are particularly silly. It's like rockets that fire other rockets, and it's bonkers. It's completely bonkers, and I am looking forward to seeing if they can make it work, because at the moment it's so unbalanced it's not even funny, but it's beyond silly.
I just had a mental image of a rocket that's like Alien when a little mouth comes out, right? It's a rocket, and another little rocket launcher comes out of that one and then fires a rocket. It amused me to no end. I want that in the game.
Yeah, if we don't have rockets that fire rocket launchers which fire other rockets, then yeah, that would be good.
I want that
And
to
what
happen.
is the point? Why would we even play it?
Indeed. But yeah, Loadout. It's free to play. It's a third-person shooter. The beta is available right now. Loadout.com, I believe, is the website, which now will not work, because we broke this yesterday, actually, when the video came out as well, so...
Whoops.
Sorry, guys, but it's an intriguing game. It might work, and it might be a complete and total disaster, but...
It's gonna be so good.
You should check it out. Go register for the beta. You can go to the website right now, click register now for the beta, and see if you can get in on that. And last, but by no means, well, I suppose it is least, there's a new Skylanders game coming out, guys.
That's popular, I hear.
So
I
I'm
hear
told.
people are into those.
Yes. Shall we look
It's
at
not-
the trailer?
Is it a game or action figures?
Let's
Which
do
is-
it.
It's both. It is
Watch it.
both. Let's take a look.
Watch it.
Woo! What a day! Did you see those minions when Jetpack was like, brrr, with his vacuum fan thingy? And they were like, ah!
Pop Fizz. Enough with the soda.
No way! It's how I keep my edge! It's soda-licious! Plus, it gives me powers.
You know who has crazy awesome powers? The Giants.
Yeah, and guess what else? Bigfoot's got big feet. Come on, the Giants are just a myth.
Oh, they're real. They're spectacular. And they're huge.
Really? You heard the Giants are huge. Check it out. This is my sarcastic face.
Laugh all you want, but I heard they can literally throw boulders. Can you imagine? Wake up, throw a boulder. Have a plate of haggis, throw a boulder. Fantastic.
I've heard fairy tales they can punch holes in the ground. I don't believe it. You show me a pig that can fly, I'll show you a giant who can smash a hole in the ground.
I once heard that they are so strong, they can move islands. They're just like, hey, look at that island. I'm gonna pull it closer because, you know, I'm a giant, no biggie.
If they're so real, then where are they?
Probably petting a unicorn at the end of a rainbow.
Big.
You don't believe in unicorns, do you?
He's you. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I did not see that one coming.
Okay, I'm quitting the soda.
I love it when I'm right.
Chaos.
Party's over.
Not good.
No sweat. We got your back. Let's do this.
Bring it on. What's up now?
They're bigger, they're badder, they're boomier. Introducing Skylanders Giants. Over 40 new characters and one amazing new adventure.
High five. Bad idea.
Well, there you go. Skylanders Giants, which is coming out at some point. I believe
I've
it.
never heard of a trailer trying to be more hip in my life.
It's actually out in October.
My entire life. And at the same time, Bobcat Goldthwait, welcome back to the world. Where have you been, pal? That was the voice of the guy who drinks the soda.
Really?
Same guy who was in Police Academy as the crazy gangster.
Really?
Oh, Jesse.
I'll pick up on that one.
Now I'm another.
He always does this. He always manages it.
Bobcat,
Now-
talk with a crazy voice.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, there's a lot of hate towards Skylanders, but it's aimed at 9-year-olds.
Yeah.
And if I had that when I was 9, I would be going crazy for it. You kidding me? I thought
absolutely.
Barcode Battler was the shit, and that was terrible. This is Barcode Battler that actually works. It's such a great idea. The whole concept is freaking genius. Not to mention the amount of money they make out of it.
I got a little lost with the action figure thing. What happened with that? Is it a part of the game? I don't know.
Yeah, it's basically the action figures have code within them. They're almost like USB sticks, I suppose, but I think they probably just read like QR codes or whatever. You put them on the stand to kind of have them in the game, and it's kind of like an action RPG from what I can understand. I've been trying to figure it out from watching Orion play because he's into them, and I can't for the life of me figure it out. But it seems like kind of an action RPG of sorts, and it's not awful. But it is incredibly expensive to own everything in that game. Yeah,
You buy an action figure to play in the game.
It's like
seems like
to me the best part about this is the revival of the Spyro series through something that is illogically nonsensical. Like how they pulled this off, I don't know, but it's amazing. I'll give it that. I may think it's exploiting children who are like, that giant talks cool, but still.
Everyone was exploiting children, though. I mean, come on. Pogs exploited children. Pogs were worthless. At least with these things, you actually get a figure that's reasonable. Apparently, these giants are twice the size of the other figures, so they'll use a different base. And they have interactive light-up stuff that's related to the game. So, like, stuff goes on the game. If your guy takes damage, like, lights flash on the thing. And apparently, he uses RFID to do everything.
The chat's freaking out about Pogs. I had a Mortal Kombat slammer. I just want to let the world know.
Oh, was it a shredder with the spikes on the edge of it that you could hurt somebody with?
Oh my gosh, those hurt so bad.
It was gold and had the Mortal Kombat logo from the movies.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Pogs.
Yeah.
Pogs, man.
Indeed.
And the cool kids had like the tubes with all of their Pogs.
All the Pogs!
In the tube. I was so jelly of the kids that had tubes.
A series of them. But it's coming out.
Holy shit!
It's on its way out. I have no interest in them, but I will most likely have to spend a lot of money getting some for Orion. Oh, well, it happens. It's not bad, though. I mean, I don't see it as a bad game, nor do I even see it as a bad business model. It's just not aimed at us. It's not aimed at 28-year-olds. It's aimed at 9 to 13-year-olds, and it does a solid job of making a pretty decent game with some really interesting technology. So there you go. I like it. It's neat.
Word.
I respect it, certainly. I just don't have any desire to play it. Alright, we're going to take a quick break, folks. Then we'll come back. We'll do probably one host topic and round up some videos from the Game Station Network and then plug our stuff and then leave. That's the plan. I'm sticking to it. You're watching the Game Station podcast. We'll be right back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Game Station podcast, where we cast pods, I assume. That's the point.
About games in the station.
Yeah. Before I go on, can I can I be cheeky and plug outside of the designated plugging zone? Is that okay?
Do it.
Okay.
Go.
So I found out a couple of days ago that I am in the final 6 for the Golden Joystick Awards in the UK, which
Oh, dang.
which are actually legit. Like, as opposed to the other awards, they're actually kind of a thing. They're run by, I think it's HMV runs them, and there are 6 people in the UK like best video gamer on YouTube category,
and they are.
Okay, let me give you the list. Let me give you the list.
Bring it up.
As soon as I do this, it's going to autoplay, so I'm just making sure that Chrome is muted before that happens, so just give me a moment. I don't want to blast you with sound.
And the winners are...
The winners, yes. If you head over to tinyurl.com/vote4tb, which is that is the number 4, vote 4 TB. That will take you to the Golden Joysticks, and the people on the list are In the Littlewood, who we have had on this podcast, the Syndicate Project, Athene, myself, Yogscast, I'm fucked, and Matroix, who I've never heard of, but that's probably
well.
Because I
Look,
just
you
don't
ran
watch
a
his
good
stuff.
campaign.
I tried so hard.
Bow out gracefully.
I got
say
so
you're
far,
your family,
but the end it
just
didn't even
walk
matter
away.
because Yogscast just flattened me. But if you do wish to support me in the fight against our Yogscastian oppressors, then you can do that over at tinyurl.com/vote4tb or youtube.com/Golden Joystick Awards. They can vote for Total Halibut if you wish. That would be kind of cool.
So what? So the categories, like,
This particular category is like best YouTube gamer channel or whatever.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure they only got UK guys because it is a UK-based award, which would explain why.
Athene's
But
in
actually,
the UK?
Athene is not in the UK, actually, no. So maybe they didn't. Maybe they just missed you out entirely, Jesse.
No, I'm pretty
Bastards.
sure they're right.
Bastards.
They're right. If they're looking for...
If it makes you feel any
hilarious
better,
comedian-
the video they made of my channel was mostly you and me playing Terraria. That was what it was.
No, I mean, I think if people are wondering why Athene's there, I think it's... did you have to submit, or did they just randomly
No,
pick
you didn't have to submit. I didn't even know about this thing until they emailed me and said, you're shortlisted. I'm like, oh, okay. Hang on, I know about the Golden
I definitely
Joysticks.
think Athene's presence... I wouldn't say he's...
It's hard to argue with Athene's
gamer
presence.
anymore, but his presence and, like, people know who he is, and he doesn't have to do jack shit. But he tries to outdo himself, so... for promotional.
He works his ass off, man. I like that guy. I've got a lot of respect for him.
So that's why he's there.
Yes. But if you wish to help me win a Golden Joystick, or you wish to vote against me because you're a bastard, then by all means, tinyurl.com/vote4tb is what you need to do, and you can just vote for whoever you want there. All right, okay. So we have a topic. It was brought by Rodri, and happens to also coincide with something I want to talk about. So everyone's a winner. Rodri, what's your topic?
With the release of the Wii U coming out here in November, I thought we could go over some of the games. There's 23 titles confirmed for it, and we could just talk about the console as well, because there's 2 different consoles that you could pre-order. I'm pretty sure they're all sold out now, like everywhere.
The premium edition supposedly was, but it's you can actually get it. I was in Best Buy a couple of days ago to get a pack of rechargeable batteries, and I said, do you have any of the Wii U Deluxe pre-orders? And I'm like, yeah, I've got a few. So apparently you can still get them.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently
I'll have to
Walmart
check it out.
has them as well.
Because I'm
in
pretty
the
sure
US.
like the other places are like what is it, GameStop?
Well,
was
they've got a
sold out.
GameStop. They have about 4 consoles total.
Oh yeah,
across the
they
entire
were
network.
gone within an hour.
Yeah.
GameStop's a mess.
We sold out our pre-orders within 2 minutes. That's because you got 3 of them. That's about it. But, yeah, the GameStop's pretty bad about that. But yeah, the launch list is interesting. So I'm gonna just reel off the list for everyone, and then we'll go down point by point. So, what do we have? We've got New Super Mario Bros. U, Darksiders 2, Assassin's Creed 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Skylanders Giants, Zombie U, Assassin's Creed 3, Batman Arkham City Armored Edition, Disney Epic Mickey 2, The Power of 2, ESPN Sports Connection, FIFA Soccer 13, Game Party Champions, Just Dance 4, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, Nintendo Land, Rabbids Land, Scribblenauts Unlimited, Sing Party, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. I'm actually most excited about that because that game is great. Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Transformers Prime, Warriors Orochi 3 Hyper. So don't worry, guys, you get your Dynasty Warriors game. Wipeout 3. Holy sh! What? What?
Wipeout.
Hang on, what?
Bring it back, man. Wipeout.
And
That
Your
game-
Shape Fitness of All 2013. What the fuck? Wipeout 3? What is... Oh, it's not actually Wipeout. It's the fucking quiz game.
What the?
But there is a Wipeout game, isn't there?
Yeah, there.
It's the quiz game is called Wipeout. It's not the racing game. It would be weird to see Wipeout on a Nintendo platform.
Isn't it the TV? Isn't it the TV?
It's the TV show Wipeout. Yeah, where you have to bend your shapes into. Well, bend your. You basically got to throw shapes. You got to bend your body.
You have to bend your shapes.
Bend
into a
those
body.
shapes. You bend them shapes. Oh yeah.
Oh, I get it.
That got me excited for a second, and now I hate them.
I thought it was the awesome water physics boat racing game.
Oh,
What?
I immediately thought it was the TV show.
Boat racing? What boat racing
Is
game?
that a boat racing? What's the name of the boat racing game?
It's not Wipeout. Hydro Thunder, maybe?
It is Hydro Thunder. I was way.
What?
You're close.
Oh god. Okay.
In general, that lineup isn't
Not
like.
even close. Not even close to the title.
All right, let's focus on original IP for this thing, because I don't know about you, but I can't get excited about Batman Arkham City and Darksiders 2 and Assassin's Creed 3 when by that time they're already out on other platforms. Like, it's nice that they're getting it. Don't get me wrong.
After having played them on other consoles, I don't see the point of getting them again. The people who wanted to play those, I guarantee, have already played them. And just because you have
they
the
will.
Wii U,
I mean, Darksiders 2 is already out. Assassin's Creed 3 is coming out soon, so
but there's like 3 little gadgets you can use on the pad. It's not going to make a whole big difference.
Yeah, I mean, if you played it on 360, there is going to be a minor benefit. I mean, you'll be able to play these games in 1080p supposedly rather than 720, which the Wii U is a marginally more powerful machine. So, but I like the fact that it's there because it says, hey, look at all these core games that are on the Wii U and are actually better than they are on console, even though they're not as good as on PC.
I think that's why they did it, to show like,
Yes.
hey, we can do this.
Yes,
we can compete.
that's exactly why they did it. Why not
Yeah.
just port a bunch of games over to the Wii U? So, okay,
Exactly.
but let's focus on original IP. So that actually removes a lot of the stuff from there. Disney Epic Mickey 2, I don't think that.
I didn't find the first one that appealing. I don't think. I don't know. I'll have to try out the second one though before I can make a judgment on that.
And I think this is the Wii U's out in November, right? I think yeah. So yeah, it's at about the same time. So yeah, that's. That game looks okay, but as you were saying, the original is not an amazing game, and that's unfortunate because it's by Warren Spector, the man that brought you Deus Ex, and you think that it would be amazing.
Exactly.
But we'll see. Maybe the second one's better. I'll probably still buy it because even though the original wasn't that great, it was still good for a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of new changes with the whole pad and everything. So there'll be new twists to the game.
We shall see. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see how that turns out. It would make sense on a game like that. I would actually like to see a Kami on that console. Like a Kami with the touchscreen and just paint on the touchscreen.
Yes,
ideal.
that would be.
That would work really well.
Great.
It's a ESPN Sports Connection. What is this?
I don't know. I'm not feeling sports games on the Wii. It doesn't work. I don't know.
It looks like it's just like Wii Sports all over again, isn't it? That's all it is.
Yes,
Wii
yes.
Sports is great. You guys are on
Yes.
all the drugs.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's different. Wii Sports is different than like I'm gonna play Madden on a Wii.
Madden. Oh,
like that's
throwing
nonsense.
with the Wiimote.
Nonsense.
Like, come on.
You get to run in place. This game is gonna be great, guys.
Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced by that. It's obvious what they're trying to aim for, but I have my doubts as to whether or not that'll actually be any good. Moving on to, let's see, Game Party Champions. I assume that's just a selection of party games.
It's like Mario Party, like some Mario Party thing.
Only a Wii could get away with something like this. This
seems to be Nintendo first party. Actually, no, never mind. It's published by Warner Brothers. So this is yet another it's another set of mini games. It's got like Hoop Shoot and Skee Ball.
Nintendo.
And Air Hockey. Yep, so it's basically Carnival Games Part 57, so fuck that. Just Dance 4, that will sell a ton of copies. I think everyone knows about that.
With a whole thing. Didn't they have the trailer with like Call Me Maybe or something?
Just Dance 4 trailer has Epic Mealtime in it, and I laughed at Harley for that greatly. That was. It also has Lindsay Sterling in it though, which is pretty cool. But
oh yeah, she's great, fantastic.
Yep. But yeah, Just Dance 4 will sell a ton of copies, and it'll probably be all right if you like dancing games.
Yep.
New Super Mario Brothers U.
Because that one was.
We're not allowed. We're not allowed number 4 at any point in a Mario game. So it's New Super Mario Brothers U if you haven't got confused about it already. You can... You know what I don't like? You can have yourself in the game. I don't want to be some stupid me. I want to be a Luigi or Bowser. I don't want to be...
Just CG!
Bowser.
Just CG.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Done.
Yes.
It's happening. Just CG. It's a me! A Just CG!
Just CG and
I'm gonna
TVO.
dress up and play the game. It's happening. It's happening. I'm gonna dress up as my character in the game.
I'm not
So
convinced
the
by
game
that.
is fantastic. I had the chance to play it at PAX. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. Is it
Definitely enjoyed
difficult?
it.
Because the last few Mario games seem to have been lacking in that department.
It's honestly the same. It's probably easier because the pad gives you the ability for a 5th player, where the 5th player gets to click and like places platforms for you. So you could place 4 platforms, just run over through the level, and it's pretty much done. You know.
So basically, there's an
Yeah.
optional help mode, but you don't have to play with
Yes.
that. It's not like
No, you don't have to
forcing
play with
Super
it.
Guide on you or anything.
Exactly.
All right,
So,
because I tell you my experience with New Super Mario Brothers for Wii was all about screwing over the people I was playing with. Because that game allowed you to troll the
the funnest
shit out
part.
of everybody. Yeah, it
you
is.
grab them, you throw them down the hole.
Yeah, throw them down the hole, you burst their bubble over a spike, so they die instantly again. You steal all the power-ups. Like, because every time you got a power-up, you got 4 of them. You could just hoover them all up for extra points. It was great.
That's the best part of it.
That game was brilliant when you were drunk. It was wonderful. It was so
this
good.
one will be just as great. It looks a lot better too. Like
It
I don't
does,
know
yeah.
how much you can spice up the graphics in a 2D Mario game, but it does look
looks-
pretty great. So
I'm cool with that game. Yeah, I will happily play that. Just to. That's going to be a family game. That's going to be one where
Definitely.
I make my son cry. It's going to be great.
oh, that's lovely.
I'm a horrible person. It'll probably be me doing the crying, knowing my luck. I'll just have the shit kicked out of me by. Oh god, we'll need a 4th player. Jesse, come live with us so we can play Mario.
If I don't have to pay rent, I'll be there.
You don't have to pay rent, man.
I'll
Trust
be
me.
there
Our house
in
is
a
bigger than
week.
yours, and it's less expensive. Come on.
In a week, I'll be there. And
Excellent.
then a week later, it'll be like, get out. Get out.
All right, what else? Nintendo Land. This is probably the most fun-looking minigame collection that they're doing. It is designed with the new pad in mind, and it's mostly all this asynchronous multiplayer stuff, as far as I know.
Oh, I remember us talking about that a little bit.
Do you, Roger?
Kinda
Do you,
like E3. I do know a little bit about it. I saw the trailer at E3, but I don't know, the concept of it kind of went over my head there for a second.
Yeah, it's a demonstration of functionality of the Wii U. So most of the games, you'll have one guy with the pad that's doing stuff to everybody else. So it's like an entire minigame collection based around being a dicky dungeon master.
Oh man,
That's kind of cool. I'll give. This
Supports
might
up
be
to
the
5
first one-
players, by the way. Which
This
is
might be the first one on the list so far that I'm like, that's kind of cool. So far, I remain
Oh,
unimpressed.
and
Nintendo.
they're all based on actual titles. So there's a Zelda game, there's a Metroid game,
Oh,
there's a Pikmin game, there's Mario, there's various Mario games. Takamuri's Ninja Castle. Holy crap. That is a 1986 game that's based on. Donkey Kong Captain Falcon's Twister Race.
oh
Yes.
man,
Yes.
It's-
nice.
Hopefully that comes in a package at, like Best Buy. Like, get this game with the Wii U. I'm on it.
Yeah, that I think we pre-ordered that game actually. I
don't
think
want the
that's the
Wii U,
one that
but
we
I want that
pre-ordered with
game.
it, and we also pre-ordered New Super Mario Brothers U for it, and that looks like a bunch of fun. It's hard to argue with that, especially when it's all based around Nintendo stuff. Which I think that if you turned Wii Sports into Mario's tennis and Bowser's boxing, it would have probably been a bit better. Bowser's boxing.
Why isn't that a thing?
I don't know.
Brilliant.
Right?
Wow, that's
You
it.
get to
Nintendo's
simulate
jacked
Bowser
idea.
beating the shit out of people. That's great, right?
Coming
Allow us
2013.
to make you money.
Damn right. And also, because Ubisoft can't get away from this concept either, they did Rabbids Land,
What?
which I assume is exactly the
Raven,
same
right?
bloody
Raven,
thing.
Raven
Yeah, the Rabbids.
things,
It is the
yeah.
7th installment of the Raving Rabbids series. Yes, they have made
Oh,
so many of
no.
these damn things.
Just shoot them, right? That's what it was.
It's a minigame collection. Like, it was all minigame collections, so Rabbids Land is basically the same thing, for what I can tell.
What are we like? One for 20 right now on games worth buying?
No, we're 2 for 20. Nintendo Land and New Super Mario
Alright,
Brothers
yes.
U.
Okay, yes.
Scribblenauts Unlimited. Scribblenauts is actually really great. You can summon Cthulhu to solve your problems for you.
Dude, I
Oh,
love
shit,
Scribble
okay.
Knots.
That makes it all.
I'm all about that.
Well, so Roger, what were you gonna say that we were talking about these games and we got to a list, but
Oh,
you
yes,
had like
what I
a
was gonna say
specific,
is,
you had a
honestly-
specific goal here.
Honestly, I was just wanting to say, well, I mean, we're about to finish the list, I would say.
Okay.
We're very close.
Almost.
I don't know if it's just me, but I'm a little disappointed with the releases. You
Okay.
know, it's like you said, 2 out of 20. What's Nintendo playing at? You
Well,
think,
it's
like,
not that it's 2 out of 20, because, I mean, Just Dance 4 was a good game, and Darksiders and Call of Duty and Batman are all good games. The problem is that we already own them, or at least we will
Right,
by that
right.
point.
for original Nintendo content, I think it's lacking a little bit. I think it would have been nice to have a Zelda released with it, or just some sort of game that's really going to bring you into it. Just New Super Mario Bros. U, and Nintendo Land isn't a whole lot to offer for people.
I guess like down the line, I mean, at PAX and E3, we saw stuff that looked amazing.
Pikmin,
but it's
Pikmin
not
3,
with launch.
great.
Yeah.
Pikmin
There's
3
nothing
is
to make me
quite
wanna buy
soon
it
after.
now.
The thing is, Pikmin 3
Exactly.
isn't a launch title, but it's very soon after launch, isn't it?
Yes.
So's Rayman Legends, I think. That's very soon after launch, too. So I think maybe the launch title list is a bit misleading. And also, like, we haven't highlighted Zombie U, which looks incredible.
I played that. That was really fun.
Yeah, I am.
I've heard it's really good.
And,
All
yeah,
over
it
that
was,
one.
it was-
Yeah, so I mean, there's a few decent games. I mean, Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed will probably be great. I mean, the first Sonic All Stars Racing was amazing.
I have that one.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I agree.
It's a really good game. Not that it makes
That's
any
really-
sense. Like, why on
really
earth would Sonic be in a car? But he's in a car.
It's fast enough as it is.
Indeed.
It really doesn't make sense.
No,
It doesn't once you think
doesn't.
about it.
That's actually
Probably-
a simultaneous
I never
launch with the Wii
questioned
U,
that
by the
until
way.
right now.
That is not a delay. That one is coming out at the same time as other consoles. In fact, a lot of these things are. So, yeah, there are just some really delayed games for whatever reason, like Batman and like
I just
Dark
really
Souls.
hope they push it the months after, so it starts picking up.
Yeah.
Would be great to see some other games.
It's not a bad launch lineup, but again, there isn't anything on that list that is a system seller. I don't think
Smash Brothers.
there is.
Like at least the Wii
Brothers.
had
If
had
there
the
was a
Zelda,
Smash
like-
Brothers game, then that would have sold it.
Oh,
But there
that would
isn't.
have. I would have bought like 3 just for that.
Yeah.
by myself. Just man.
Yeah, there's a bunch of good games that aren't really system sellers per se, and that's a problem. But as you said, like no Zelda game on launch, which the Wii did have, and that was there were two things that sold the Wii on launch: Zelda, and there was Wii Sports. Those were the two things that sold the Wii.
Definitely.
We're
Well,
all about esports.
That's why I bought it. I waited in line for that.
Also, bear in mind that like that was a pack-in at the time. Wii Sports was a pack-in, where Nintendo Land isn't. I don't think,
Exactly.
as far as I can tell, which is a bit unfortunate. Like, if they packed in Nintendo Land, then
That would be
maybe
cool.
That would have been really cool. That would have been pretty smart.
Yeah, I think so. But aside from that, I mean, I'm still kind of excited about the system. I think that the controller is nice. It's not gimmicky. It's actually useful. I can see all sorts of uses for this thing. Even traditional games. Think about what you can do with an inventory system where you have a touchscreen available. Like, you can completely change the way that you handle inventories in console games. Because you don't need to scroll through them. It's on your screen. You just push the item you want. That's really good.
Exactly. You need to stop on like a menu or anything. You can just
Yeah, you can do all your menus on the controller, which makes browsing them very easy. That's a really good idea. So I'm convinced as to the controller, and the Pro controller looks really good as well. And there's also things like they're bringing out a new Monster Hunter game for it. They're bringing out some pretty hardcore titles along the way. So I'll have mine on day one. I'll see how good it is. I'll probably just play Zombie U on it, but one way or the other, it's
You'll
looking
have fun.
it's looking
Something.
promising. It's promising.
Yeah.
You know, after
It'll
all
be-
the skepticism, it looks okay. So we'll see.
Oh, apparently it's packed with the deluxe edition.
Oh, is it?
chat's
Okay,
saying.
so if you get deluxe,
No
you get
way,
Nintendo
really?
Land.
Awesome.
Excellent. That's
Okay.
I'm very glad I nailed deluxe
And
edition then.
that is a great pickup then.
Fantastic, yeah. Because Nintendo Land looks like great fun, but obviously if you're kind of a solo gamer, Nintendo Land's going to be a very sad experience for you, so just bear that in mind. All right, well, I think that rounds up the host topic quite nicely then. So let's have a look at some videos coming in from the Game Station. These are out right now. You can go and watch all of them if you so desire. So each of us has a video. Who would like to start?
I can start.
All right, what you got for us?
Mine is from I Am Enderzel, and he did a Battlefield 3 montage, like a
Yes.
sniper montage. I haven't looked at any
Love those
montages from COD or Battlefield 3 in forever,
Yeah.
and he made this one, and it's doing really well, and it's really fun to watch. So
Let us take a
there's
quick
that.
look then.
your army approaching the east. A hunter is switching his prey. All alone, a man with his gun wanders into the wild. Tracks you down, you cannot hide. Once he is onto your trail. Into the night, a flash in the darkness. White death is heading your way. The fear of his foes, a hero at home. Hundreds will fall by his gun. You're in the sniper sight. The first hit tonight, time to die. You're in the bullet's way. The white death spray. Say goodbye.
There you go, there's a quick look at it, and I approve of the music for one thing, 'cause it's by one of my favourite bands, Sabaton. The name of the track is White Death, which is based all around the story of that legendary sniper that completely slaughtered German troops across a number of years. And that band is awesome. Apparently, he also got full permission from the label Nuclear Blast to actually use that song in the video, which is very unique, because
that's awesome.
That's
most
really cool.
montages, you just steal music, and then they come around and say you can't do that, and like, oh... But no, it's really
Here,
cool.
let me replace the music with classical.
Yes, well, Nuclear Blast is one of my favorite labels. They've got some of my favorite bands on it, so it's really cool that they did that. It's nicely edited. It's not too gimmicky either. It's not like a case of he's doing an edit every 4 seconds. He's legitimately getting kill after kill after kill after kill in a game which is not easy. I mean, Battlefield 3 it's not that easy to snipe in it. So, I'm impressed. It's nice.
I also appreciate when montages don't have an excess of the slow-mo. Like,
yeah,
this
there's
doesn't
only a
have
little bit.
all that much slow-mo in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, can I just make a quick
that's not
correction
nice.
before the history buffs get me? Because I've just realized this. He was actually a Finnish. He was a Finnish sniper that was killing Soviets. It wasn't a Russian sniper killing that. It's Sorry, Finland.
I like
yeah.
believing that Jesse was just like.
Yeah, he is a history nut. So yeah, my apologies. I made a boo-boo on that one, but there we go. It's good, and you can go check it out. Link is in the description below this video if you happen to be watching the VOD. If you don't happen to be watching the VOD, then head over to his channel, which, if I recall correctly, is youtube.com/Anderzel. I'm hoping
for people out there who are like, I really want to make, montage videos and stuff, look at this video and look at the editing. It's spot on. Like, everything down to the gunshot drum beats is perfect.
Yeah,
like,
it's
that
nicely
kind of
done.
stuff. Yeah. That's how you do a montage video.
It's not overly pretentious, and it's not overly reliant on zooms and crazy nonsense, and let's do a slow-mo, let's rewind, let's zoom, let's put a filter on it. It's not that. Why would you put a filter on Battlefield 3? It's a great-looking game. Why would you ruin it? It's like Instagramming Battlefield 3.
Itself. Instagramming video games.
That's going to be a new thing.
Future.
Someday.
A terrible, dark future we have. All right, so go check that out, folks. Yes, youtube.com/Anderzel. All right, let us continue, shall we? Who wants to go up next?
I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Okay,
why not? What video you got for us?
It is a video from Unit Lost. Now, this is a UK channel. They're big into Torchlight.
They are.
Very British.
Yes.
They are playing through every class, I think, on Elite mode.
Yep.
Torchlight 2. They got early access to it or something. It's pretty cool. These guys seem to know what they're talking about. They're pretty funny. They yell a lot when they
do,
bump
yes.
into trouble.
Very much so.
It's quite exciting if you're into Torchlight 2. I've never played it myself, but
Jess is going to love this because I think it's the kind of English accent that he really appreciates. So let's take a look.
What?
Hey ho people, it's Stylosa and Kirioff, and this is Torchlight 2. Oh yes, now this is some co-op gameplay. This is currently on Elite difficulty. This is the most difficult you can play the game. And by God, is it difficult? And this is great, because if you remember Diablo 3, no difficulty options at the start of the game. You had to play it through on easy mode, and that was absolutely rancid. This, however, is not like that. Therefore, it's 100% pure. Good Lord. Anyway, Mr. Kirioff, what the hell's what's the deal? What's the scores on the doors?
I believe we've got to go into this horrendously difficult dungeon and fix this crap.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? Yes. Yeah. Oh, I've got a fancy hat.
Yeah, lasers.
Hang on. Put my fancy hat on. Oh no, I don't want that. Yes. Yeah, you deal with that. No, I'll finish it off. Good Lord. So this is my inventory at the moment. I am a level 4, and I have a socketed butcher's cleaver, which looks crazy. And yes, it did change with the electric effect on it when I put the gem in for electric damage. I've also got a socketed mystical ice ring. It's crazed. This is at level 4. And look at this. Look at my health. It's, I believe it's not regenerating. That's cool.
None of that, son.
None of that. None of that.
They are some of the most British men ever, which there are certain kinds of fantastic British accents. That is one of them. That is the "All right, son, how you doing, lad?"
You gotta listen well.
Yeah, pretty much. What's the scores on the doors, and also the word rancid being used as an insult. I have not heard that in ages. Man, that used to be when I was at school. We used to call things rancid. My God.
I just want to point out it's unfair to the rest of YouTube that you combine 2 British men of any variety, and it's instant amazing to watch.
It's true. It's so true.
You all. I just want to point that out. Why is that a thing?
It's great. And Unit Lost do a lot of stuff. They do a lot of analysis and critique. They did Diablo 3 versus Torchlight 2, which was heavily biased, I might add. It's like there's no even question that they biased the crap out of that video, but it wasn't to be taken seriously. But yeah, you should check them out over at youtube.com/UnitLostTube. It's a good place to go. All right, Jesse, what do you have?
Hey, 22.
I hate that name.
It's
like it's like he
not,
gives up halfway through his name. Hey.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Thier. I'm like, but it's HAASTH 22.
Yeah.
He has been doing a lot of Guild Wars 2 videos lately, a lot, and he just started doing stuff about lore. Well, he's been doing it for a while, but he started doing it in a way that's very familiar to those of you who know Pride, who did lore videos on my channel.
Yep.
And
it's card-based,
he does it on his channel, The Smoking Gamer / The Smoking Gamer on YouTube, and basically lore stuff. And so, like I've said for past weeks, like I don't get the lore of Guild Wars. Well, now he's doing videos that target nerds like me, and I'm like, oh, watch this.
But now you can.
He does it in a similar style where he gives you cards that are like, you know, information cards, but are kind of like card game cards. It's very creative. It's been done, but he does it for Guild Wars 2, so that's the first time that's been done. And, yeah, it's pretty great.
All right, let's have a quick look at it, shall we? Here we go.
Lion's Arch was not flooded due to natural cause, and neither were the earthquakes that set the destroyers free in the northern Shiver Peaks. For all that has been forgotten, the biggest dangers that now threaten Tyria are ancient powers awakening from their long slumber. The Elder Dragons, a mysterious race of draconic creatures, are set to rival the powers of the gods themselves. One thing is certain, they definitely date back to long before the arrival of the gods, and have been sleeping for thousands of years, forgotten by the races of Tyria, and are now tumbling the continents into chaos and havoc as they awake. The first of these ancient monstrosities to awaken was the Elder Dragon Primordus. Originally resting in a deep underground cavern where subterranean races such as the Azura made their homes, his initial awakening was halted by the defeat of his champion and general, called the Great Destroyer, who, 250...
Who, you will have to go and check the rest of the video if you want to find out who that guy actually was. But I like the card style, very much so. The production values are great.
It's basically, chat's saying it right now, it's basically Pride Show lore for noobs.
Yeah.
It's pretty much exactly what it is, except Pride doesn't play Guild Wars, so, or at least not that I'm aware of, but...
He's been secretly playing it behind your back.
Hey, might have, yeah.
So, yeah, and so this is a Guild Wars version of that. So it's very, I think that format is really, really helpful if you're into lore. It's like, here's this, here's an image of this, here's some lore on the screen besides what I'm talking about. It's a very convenient way if you're like, I need to get caught up on something and I'd like to know what the hell is going on. Yeah, I think it's a really cool thing. So if you're into lore, it helps you out a lot.
Yeah.
And you don't spend hours on a wiki like trying to look for what you're looking at.
Yeah, cross-reference everything. No, it's nicely presented, and that's a good primer. It's an idiot's guide. I like that. So you can go check that out at...
F him. Someone just said Pride is currently playing in the Grindhouse Gaming Guild. Boo!
There you
we
go.
actually fought them. They're the ones who infiltrated our guild.
They did it with the inside knowledge that only Pride could provide. He knows all your deepest secrets, man. That's what you get.
Look, I'm sticking by my comment that he is not playing Guild Wars. I'd rather not hate him.
Oh, well, never mind. You can check that out over, is that youtube.com/thesmokinggamer, did you say? Or is that...
Yeah, if you want to see Pride stuff, it's The Smoking Gamer on YouTube.
That's Pride stuff. And if you want to watch Haas, it is just Haas. It's Haas22, isn't it? H-A-A-S-T-H. Yes, exactly. Yeah, there you go. So go check that out. youtube.com/HAASTH22. All right, mine. I have got one from Omrecker, aka youtube.com/maskedgamer. I just did a collab with him for Worms Revolution, in which he kicked the crap out of me. Spoilers, but hey, there you go. That's expected. And this is an unlock guide for the game that has been consuming so much time for us lately, which is FTL Faster Than Light. This could be considered a spoiler, so if you do not wish a little bit of spoiler, then I would suggest that you tune out for the next minute. Here we go.
What's up, guys? It's Omrecker, and what I've got for you today is a unlock guide for FTL, the game known as Faster Than Light. I've received a lot of requests to make this video because I've shown other ships in my other videos of FTL, and I figured I'd take some of the footage I have of the unlocks and share it with all you guys. I do have one favor to ask, though, guys. Please do consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. It helps me a lot, and it will allow me to create more guides like this down the road and cover other games down the road. So, with that said, with this image that you're looking at here, you can click on any ship, and it will take you to the portion of this video that shows how to unlock it. Otherwise, you can let it run through, and you'll see all of them sequentially, one after another. We've only got about 10 seconds, though, left to click, so if you want to pick a ship, do it quickly. Otherwise, it's going to jump right into the stealth ship first. To unlock the stealth ship, you have to have a NG crew member, doesn't matter what ship you're on, and then you also need to be in the NG homeworld sector. The ship itself is a stealth ship, so if you have been wanting to play around with stealth, this is very likely a ship that you'll want to get early on. The sector that you're looking for is randomly placed, and you'll know that you get there if you see this message and have the ability to have your NG crew member contact the crew of the other ship. You can offer your help to them, and then they tell you the situation, that the Mantis have taken one of their ships. It's a secret technology that's been stolen. So,
alright, there you go. There's a quick look at that. That is a pretty ridiculously in-depth guide for unlocking all of the ships within FTL, which I might add is an absolutely fantastic game.
I need to have a survey of the viewing public right now. When he said click the screen, how many of you
did it?
Because I did. I was like, oh, it's a stream.
But you can do it. Yeah, it's that's a nice piece of functionality as well. The ability to jump to that. That's fantastic. So it's a good guide, very good guide, and a great game as well. So you go check him out over at youtube.com/maskedgamer. There will be, I believe, his perspective of the Worms game is coming out quite soon. And if you want to check out more of his stuff in collab with me, it's on the channel right now. youtube.com/cynicalbrit. There is the WTF is Worms Revolution featuring Masked Gamer. So
awesome.
There you go. Check it out. All right, well, that pretty much rounds things up. I would like to remind people that the Game Station does actually have content on it as well, and some of the content on the Game Station includes Iron Gamer, which features you, I believe, Jesse. What did you do this time around?
Castle Crashers. Days.
I was vomiting at the time, so I am not involved in this one.
Crashers, and it ends. It's fine. It's great. But the one you want to watch is the me versus Davis bit. It ends in the greatest ending ever made in the history of gaming. It's really awesome. And then tune in next week. For the next week's is I don't want to spoil it, but Husky drives like an old man. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Husky bad at video games? Never.
He plays games like an old man.
That's true to life.
And it's amazing. So you might want to watch that if you want to see the Husky StarCraft. Play a game where you drive around with a goal, but he don't have no goal. He just drives. He's just driving. And all it is everyone else in the room like talking like old time, like, come on, Husky, let's go. And he's like,
it's not Desert Boss by any chance, is it?
It was amazing. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's so good. He's horrible at it.
You have
to
something.
Promote myself,
yes,
since it is
by all
that
means.
time, the Game Station also has, if you haven't heard me talk enough about the water boobs, my Dead or Alive 5 review
it up,
just went up. Literally just went up.
I
so
have not heard enough of it. Continue.
you should go there and you should thumbs up my comment. It's already the top comment, but you should continue to thumbs
Give
it
it more
up so that it
thumbs.
stays there forever
Alright.
because it's very from my heart. It's from my heart. That's all you need to know.
Indeed. Other content in the game station this week includes a couple of episodes of Remag, and we have a Borderlands 2 review. That's about 5 days old, but it's still fairly relevant, as well as nerding out at Comikaze. And just a reminder, if you haven't already done it, Jesse Cox's trivia show for Warcraft is well worth a
The
look.
wallpaper you get at the end is amazing. Hand drawn. Actually, we're thinking of giving that hand drawing signed by the artist away in a contest.
Wow.
Framed. It's that good. It's that good. It's a signed piece of artwork. But in order to see it, you have to beat the
You
question.
must beat the challenge. Yes. I would like to point out as well, there's a new lore up on youtube.com/lore. It's worth
Oh,
checking
Kid
out.
Icarus.
Yep. So like, those of you who
Ooh,
haven't figured out,
nice.
yes, lore is our, lore is the game station's channel because we do narration on it all the time. Kid Icarus lore in a minute by, I believe that's narrated by K-Wing, if I recall correctly. And last week's was Warcraft lore in a minute. So by all means, that was with you, if I recall correctly, Jesse. So do go check that out. youtube.com/lore is the place to go for that. All right, so let's talk about what we are up to this week. Dodgy, you're always the shortest, so you get on with it.
Oh, okay. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do gaming news. And then I also have 2 different LPs going at the same time. Right now I have They Bleed Pixels, and I just started Testament of Sherlock Holmes, and it was very exciting for me. So I uploaded the first part of that this morning, actually. And then on my vlog channel, I just drink coffee and tell you about my day, if that's anything you'd like to see.
How many people watch it, so you can't really complain.
Yep, youtube.com/dexterity bonus for the vlog, and youtube.com/press heart to continue for the gaming stuff.
Indeed. Rodri, what are you up to?
I am Let's Playing Super Mario Galaxy. I'm just, getting through it. It's a blind run. Don't know what I'm doing. If you want to see me fail, yell a lot, get lost, get confused, but have a good time with it, check it out. On Sundays, I do a series called Challenge Sundays, where I actually take on my subscribers or friends in Wi-Fi battles like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Mario Kart Wii, Mario Strikers Charge, those sorts of things. So it's kind of like, getting to play against them, which is always a lot of fun. So I think you can click on my face if you want to go to my channel, youtube.com/PurpleRodri.
Yep, you should be able to do that if you're watching the VOD. If you're watching the stream, no, you can't do that. But you can go to his channel, and the name is just right below. Just, our channel names are right below, so it's nice and easy to find them. All right, Jesse, what are you up to this week?
This week we are continuing the path forward with more Revelations 2012. Skyrim is back and better than ever. We're gonna get 1 million episodes of that. We're gonna beat all other episodes.
Yes, more than 1,000.
More than 1,000 episodes.
More
Let's
than
make it happen.
1,000. And Fan Fridays are, I got to get the vlog stuff going again. So much stuff to do. Let's just say the last week's been a little hectic. And then also Dead Space, baby. It's shocking when someone completes games, especially Dead Space. It's disappointing when people who play Dead Space don't complete their game.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy?
Oh.
Like this guy? Are you trying to say me?
Ow.
It's on.
I am trying
Me?
to call you out.
Very much on, it would seem.
And also on Twitch, we're live streaming Borderlands 2 and Warcraft. So all those things are happening, and the reason why is because we didn't want to throw 1 million Let's Plays at you at once. So we're gonna get those 2 out of the way for funsies, and then we're gonna go back and keep stuff going. And then I have an entire list. Like, we're gonna pound stuff out. It's about to get real hectic over on the channel, so get ready. It's gonna be amazing. And yeah, I can't wait to be a part of it with you.
All right. Okay. What's going on this week for me? There's still more PAX footage to come out. There's at least, I think, 4 or 5 more PAX videos that I haven't shown you. So Octodad 2 has been rescued, by the way. This is the most important thing. I have Octodad 2 in its entirety, the dadliest catch, including Octodad attempts to mow the lawn and Octodad attempts to get married. So, yes, it is quite the thing. You'll be seeing that quite soon. I am going to be trying to do a comparison video called Deadliest War between War of the Roses and Chivalry Medieval Warfare. And it will be done in the style, at least to some degree, of Deadliest Warrior. because why not? That is the finest
Yes, I
that
like
television has to offer.
You should hire actors to dress up as the characters.
That would be wonderful, but if I was over on the West Coast with the game station, I'd be telling them to do that right now. But you just get Davis to get the crap beaten out of him with a longsword. That would be wonderful. But unfortunately, I'm on the East Coast, can't do it. So.
Of him with a long sword. Oh my god.
Yeah, can't do it. Can't do it. But whatever the case, because everyone is already comparing War of the Roses and Chivalry because they are quite similar games, I thought, screw it, I will get out there first and I will do the video on it. So I'm recording footage over the next couple of days with both War of the Roses and with Chivalry to do a direct comparison. Which is best? Who is deadliest? We shall find out. And also, hell yeah, Wrath of the Dead Rabbit is coming. I have review code. Hotline Miami, I have code for that now as well. That's coming. Probably more War of the Roses coverage as well, because I love that game. And I am also looking into Air Mech and Carrier Command and probably Half Minute Hero Super Mega Neo Climax Ultimate Boy, which is coming out tomorrow.
You missed that. That look on your face is the look of a woman who was not here the last 2
missed that
weeks.
one. Yeah, you missed out on that one.
I missed something big.
You did.
Yes, you did. Yeah, go check out Half Minute Hero Super Mega Neo Climax Ultimate Boy. That's coming out tomorrow on Steam. I'll be playing that. The Worms Revolution play, the big in-depth game, is on the channel right now. You can go check it out. It's pretty cool. And eventually, I'm going to have my final thoughts on Torchlight 2 when I can stop playing it to actually say anything about it. So, and I won't be talking any more about Borderlands because you guys get mad every time I do it. So,
Terraria 2.
Yep. Oh, yeah. The 4 episodes of Terraria coming. The first 2 episodes will be out this weekend, most likely. And then the next 2 episodes the weekend after that.
I can't wait. I functionally cannot wait.
To see what happens.
Episode 1 and 2 will be progressive, like real angsty comments, and people like, meh! And then by the episode 4, they'll be like, best episode ever! I can't wait. I cannot wait.
This is going to backfire so badly.
Oh,
we'll
man.
see.
Are you kidding me? It's going to be
The best way.
Indeed. Yep, and aside from that, mailbox and usual stuff that's on the channel, and occasionally I live stream, usually either Torchlight or Heart of the Swarm, or a couple of other things. And those of you watching the live stream, there's going to be a big announcement on the StarCraft front very soon, and I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, big announcement very soon. Okay, that pretty much rounds it up, folks. Thank you very much for watching the Game Station podcast. If you wish to watch our channels, they are below. There you go. Cynical Brit for my main channel, TotalBiscuit for my StarCraft channel, PurpleRodri for his channel right there. Jesse Cox only has one right now. Right now, anyway. I'm wondering what he put on a second channel. It scares me. Like, Jesse Cox becomes an esports personality. And then press hard to continue for the main channel and dexterity bonus for the vlog channel. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at TotalBiscuit if you want the full experience, or if you want the decaf version, which involves no ranting, then it is youtube.com. It's not YouTube, that's silly. It's twitter.com/cynicalbrit for just the announcements.
Just go for the ranting, you guys. Just commit fully.
I don't know. I'm trying to beat Day 9 on
great.
followers, and I'm only about 10k behind him at the minute, so I'm closing the gap. So I'm after him right now. It's going to happen. I'm after him. That'll be good.
I'm only 10k behind TB. Why not help me catch up to him? I'm not, but I just want you.
I was going to say, no, you're not, you lying bastard. You're not even anywhere close. But yeah, twitter.com/
at PurpleRodri.
Yes,
Go ahead.
at PurpleRodri. You're simple. You only have one, which is very smart. We have about 3 Twitters each. It's terrible.
At Jessica Cox.
Yeah.
At Jessica Cox.
I'm at Dex bonus,
At
not
Yes.
dexterity bonus.
Rodri.
Dex bonus.
Yep.
And then Heart to continue with a 2 that exists, but I don't really use it. So just
Yeah.
ignore that it's real.
Too many Twitter accounts, not enough time. That is just the way of it. But there you go, folks. Battlefield is done. Everything is dead. There are smoking craters everywhere. That was the TGS podcast. My name has been TotalBiscuit. That has been the rest of the crew. We shall hopefully be back the same time next week with special guest Felicia Day. Thank you very much for watching. We shall see you next time.
Felicia.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Did no one else just see what just happened here? Did no one else see the hilarious comedy? Two things happened. One, TB's one of the few times he ever comments on what happens in chat, it's about masturbation. And two, Dodger completely combs over it and moves on instantly. Doesn't even address it and just is like, so what do you think, Roger? How did we miss this? That was
Changes
comedy gold.
conversation.
It's the best, isn't it?
Gold.
That was great.